49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's Monday. And that's my Monday song. Carmichael Dave. That's me. Jason Ross. Jason Ross in Vegas. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Carmichael Dave.
Hey, look. And it works. I can hear you first try. That's called being a professional. How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's Vegas?
It's great. How are you?
I'm good. By the way, that is the sound that my favorite character on Jackbox makes whenever you log in. I know that's a very important piece of information for you.
Nice. What jersey you got on today?
Hey, look at you with the kit thing. Yeah, I'm just wondering. This is the new Huddersfield Town away kit, and I made an attempt. You may notice that I'm wearing a hat that just does not even come close to matching it. You're not matching. Sometimes these kits, you're just not matching them, Jason. So you just gotta kind of do your thing. But this is the new away kit. And then, I can't say. Very soon, there will be the third kit unveiled. Very exciting times because, that's a thing now. It used to be, hey, there's the home jersey, there's the away jersey or kit. And now it's every year there's a different one, and there's like the alternate, and then the city edition, and then the statement edition, and then the throwback edition and the future edition, and it's all a cash grab is what it is.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go play later. Maybe get a little scrimmage outside.
Is it a friendly?
No, not here. It is it's actually an unfriendly chase.
Nice.
Let's see. We have a big show for you today, as you can hear, obviously, and as we've mentioned. Jason is in Vegas for Summer League. He will be there through the evening, and then off to beautiful, sunny, cool New Orleans, Louisiana.
I went from super hot, steamy Sacramento to a tad bit hotter Las Vegas to just a steam bath in New Orleans.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that other than I guess when you get back, it will be nicer here feeling wise.
Sure.
Like you'll come back and it'll be hot and stuff here, but you'll go, oh, wow, that feels good. That feels better than New Orleans.
Right.
Of course, you'll be a big fatty when you come back too because of all the food.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Jason, the nice thing is on Tuesday when you're back, it's only going to be 103 degrees.
How about Wednesday?
Haven't gotten to Wednesday yet.
Is this back here when he gets back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Tuesday it'll be 103. We're gonna have a bit of a respite,
but it is Apple that I'm getting the information for, so it might be 86
or it might be 121.
Yeah, my Android has it at 212.
Android Droid is usually a better weather than iPhone weather's not had a great summer. But tomorrow it will be 90.
Oh, wow.
And Wednesday morning, the low will be 55 degrees. That's what I'm talking about. I could handle that for the rest of this. If the highest it got was 90 and our mornings were in the high 50s, what a great summer that would be.
It rained here, by the way, poured here 2 days ago.
Aren't those fun when you're in Vegas in the middle of summer and then out of the blue, there's just storm for 3 hours?
Yeah, and I went outside streaking. It was great. I just took it all in. Let all of Vegas see me. And what was weird is nobody cared.
Well, no, they probably all wanted to know which battery you took.
Exactly.
So that's I was just going to say, how was everybody's weekend? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know what to do there. I'll just say this. I love everybody, and I know you feel the same way too. I'll just say this for all those listening in on the chat. Look, we tend to be as open and loose as possible, but for obvious reasons today, we're going to, and by the way, everyone's been great, but we're going to be really vigilant on any talk about certain subjects that might be incredibly high emotion right now. So, and I'm not talking about the Copa or the Euros here. I'm talking about what happened over the weekend, and I would just say to anyone listening, not that I know anything or what I'm talking about, but love is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Love is a good thing, and everyone's got their opinions. Everybody has their. It's kind of like, I would say, we say this to Kings fans all the time. For the most part, we all want the same thing. We have different ideas on how to get there, but we're all rooting for the same team. And maybe that's a little bit naive, and maybe I'm being incredibly naive when I say that. But I'd like to think that ultimately we all want the same thing. We have different ideas on how to get there, but it's important to remember we're all rooting for the same jersey. I'd hope we're all part of the same family. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel a lot of love and compassion for my fellow person today.
Dave, to quote the great band from Sacramento, Tesla, love will find a way.
Love will find a way. Gosh, I hope you are so right. The only thing I have to really report on the weekend is my friend's daughter's wedding happened.
TV make it?
TV got the U-Haul on Friday. It was about 114
degrees.
Yeah, degrees. I was gonna get one of them big U-Haul, big. I don't know what you call it. Like, it's a truck, but there's a pickup truck, and then there's the truck with like the 1995 and like a state on the side. I don't know what that's called. A van? No. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, U-Haul van.
So, like, is that what you call it? A U-Haul van? Even though it's like a truck head with a big vanny thing in the back? Okay. So, I was going to get those. I know. Well, but then I thought, it's just going to look so stupid. I'm rolling up in this, giant U-Haul parked amongst everybody. I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be as not out of place as possible, and I ended up getting a pickup truck, right? And I put the TV in the back after cleaning it. It's just an outdoor TV, so I had to like clean it. There's a cobweb and here's some whatever. And I wasn't able to test everything until the morning of. And then I got there, and it turned out that, like, didn't matter where you were, how big the TV was, only about 70% of the audience could see in case you weren't with us last week, I did a slideshow for my buddy, which was all like pictures of his daughter all the way from being a baby to, the last few were her and her then fiance, now husband, just, like a story of life type of thing with a song behind it. And then he, Father of the Bride, spoke right after that. So it was basically I directed and produced his intro video.
Was that all that was shown? No extra videos from you this time?
So it's funny you say that. First off, No. First off,
Okay.
yes, there was no there were no issues. However, sitting at our table was the one and only Philip Oates, whose birthday party years ago was where I had the wow, I don't know if I've ever said whose it was publicly or not. Well, okay, Chris says no. Well, there you go. Hey, Phil. So it was his birthday that we had the mishap. And again, I always assume everybody knows every story, but if you missed that one, it was his birthday party. There's about 200 people at his house. I did a video compilation from all these golf tournaments where there were athletes and stuff saying, hey, Ozzie Smith, hey, Phil, happy birthday. Or Bo Jackson, hey, Phil, happy, just about a year spent. Because, look, people like Phil, if somebody is, like, wealthy and then you're a schmo like me, I always feel like anytime they have a birthday or Christmas, it's like when my kids would give me, like, a picture they drew of a dog. Like, I always feel like any gift I get them, they're like, oh, that's so great. And then they, like, put it on the fridge with a magnet. Like, what do you get these people? So that was something that I was like, oh, okay, well, this is priceless. This is cool. We got some really cool people saying happy birthday to Phil, and he could keep it and look at it whenever. It's cool. So anyways, played it at the birthday, went well, went to go set it up in on the other TV on loop because he asked me to do that. And there was a home video on it, and that didn't go well. And my wife still to this day doesn't like to talk about it. So
Set the screen.
anyways, this was the first one I had done since then. So of course I put it on a flash drive. If I had my backpack here, I would show you the pack of 20 flash drives I bought, basically because it was a deal for like $20. And I had each one had a separate flash drive to make absolutely sure there was no way this could possibly go wrong. And then I watched it like 90 times to make sure, like, let it run, let it stop, okay, there's no home videos on there. And it turned out his daughter, we're coming back now to the wedding, also wanted a little mini slideshow. It was just like 5 photos. So she spoke, and she cued me on the photos, which I kind of, I'm this guy here on a computer next to a TV pressing the arrow button with her cues. And then 2 other people spoke, and then it was his turn, played the video, went off without a hitch. And that was it. It was actually, I was incredibly stressed out, more stressed out than I thought I would be about the whole entire thing. And I don't know if you've ever had something where you were really stressed out about, and then it's over and it's like this euphoric feeling. But man, I got to tell you, the chicken we had for dinner is maybe the best chicken I've ever had, because it was victory chicken. We made it.
And how was the overall meal and heat and food and dancing and just the whole thing?
The heat was hot. It was a very, very cool place up in, this is up the mountain, up in a little town called Forest Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful establishment, gorgeous view. But it was hot. And if it was hot up there, I can't imagine what it was down here. But no, it was cool. But honestly, like, weddings aren't my gig. Melissa came up on Saturday, and we stayed Saturday night, headed back Sunday morning. It was a perfectly wonderful wedding. It was just like, all right, let's come back home. And my wife will not be staying at our house for the week. It's just Avery's gone to camp. Melissa is staying at our friend's house. They are on vacation, and she is watching their dogs and their sister-in-law's dogs. So she has 4 dogs, 3 of which are just total morons, like just the worst dogs. Like, I love dogs, the worst dogs, like just not trained, nothing, won't shut up. Anyways, so rather than bring them to our house to where then we would have 7 dogs, she's over there watching those dogs. So it's Mason and me. Guess what's for dinner, Jason?
It doesn't really matter, Dad. I'll eat it.
Matters to me, baby. Sloppy Joes are back on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Gross.
A couple of guys.
No.
Yeah, did I not know that? You're not a Sloppy Joe guy?
I think last time I had one, I was in 4th grade.
Well, what if you were like a huge Sloppy Joe guy now?
I don't think so.
No?
You could dress it all up, make it different, Chris.
A deconstructed Sloppy Joe.
Exactly.
envisioning like croutons with like a little slice, a little streak of sloppy Joe and some Parmesan on top.
That still doesn't sound appetizing.
No. We'll take a break. Hey, a little mayo, a little American cheese, just make it as fat as possible. Pound me a big vat of sloppy Joes tonight. We'll take a break. Guys, we got a really big show for you today, and our super producer, Jason Ross, down in Vegas, has made it all possible. Check out who he spoke to just yesterday. Doug Christie, Keon Ellis, and an extended sit-down with Kings GM Monty McNair. Yeah, surprise. It's a surprise Monday. We've got 3 fantastic interviews we'll get to later on in the program. In the meantime, we have a lot of sports to catch up on. We'll do all that next, and leading off right after this.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Road trip!
I put in leading off, number 1, Jason goes to Vegas. And I honestly did it that way specifically to think, what will Chris do? Now, if there's anybody else at the station, it would have been like a quick 5-10 second clip of one of the interviews he did later, that you'll hear later today. It would have been Monty saying, well, this is the guy we're going to trade for within the week. His name is, and then it would have cut off, which is a great tease, I think. But no, only Chris Verlaud grabs the grabs the perfect clip. Jason Ross in his tidy whities, a giant oversized sombrero, a bottle of gin, and a stuffed buffalo. Why? Because it's Vegas, Jason.
This isn't water, Dave.
Oh, how much
and everybody can see on our YouTube. The sombrero looks good. The tidy whities, little used, I guess. But hey, we're living it up.
This is a great question that Chris asked. Now, I'd like to say this is going to be a fun game, which is how much did the hotel room bottled water cost? But knowing Jason, there's a really good chance he bought it off-site. Is that from your room or is that from a local store, Jason?
No, local store for sure. I'm just hesitant. The little bar thing is right here to my right. Let me do a little compare and contrast. 1 second.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that bottle of water was probably $2.50, $3 at a local store, which means I know they're all staying at the Aria. Probably $7 to $8 for that bottle in the room is my guess.
Okay. Oh, good. That's your guess, Dave. So Chris knows the answer because I told him before I went. I was off by a little bit, but I sent Chris the answer. So Dave, this is for our YouTubers. You've seen that I purchased off-site at CVS water, and honestly,
I'm going to guess that was $5.
Yeah, I think it was $3.99 or $4.99.
Okay.
But Chris is probably right. Good size. This is probably 50 fluid ounces. So this is a big, big gun. Here's the one in the room, a little bit shorter, but it's Fiji, right?
Oh, it's Fiji.
So what's your guess on this?
That's a
1
big
liter
Fiji too.
So shorter. In the room, you said what? $7-8?
I want to stay at 8. Oh, I feel like I should go to 10, but I'm going to say 8.
Do you think that just cost me for taking it off? Like, is that weighted?
Yeah, you got to put it back. It's like Indiana Jones, man. You gotta like put the bag of sand on it.
Yes. Here comes the ball, the rock. So what was your guess? 7 or 8?
It was $8. I'll stick with 8, although I think I'm low.
Yeah, triple it and add $1. 25.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding. So could you imagine there's 3 bottles of Fiji over here to my right and 3 bottles of a little bit taller Smart Water. And you could just imagine if someone had a night, a weekend, early morning, whenever they came stumbling in, it's like, oh, I need some water. And then drank 2 of those or 3 of those. They get their bill. Wait, I didn't spend $75 on my bar. Yeah, you did with 3 bottles of water. 25. I'm not exaggerating. I didn't elevate the price.
Is it at least like well signed where you can see that it's clearly $25?
No. There's a gold in there though.
There's gold?
Yeah, there's gold in that water and poker chip. No, I don't know what. $25. Literally, you can go downstairs to the shop in here, which is marked up. But I went off site, went to CVS, got a little snackies and some water and some drinks, so that way, I wasn't spanning an arm and a leg.
That is a full value meal at Five Guys.
Exactly.
I just want to say again, for the record, and I know I'm on an island here with this. I hate Vegas. I hate it so much. I hate almost every part of Vegas. I like that one restaurant. I hate it. It sucks. It's hot. It's overcrowded. It's too expensive. I always lose money there. It doesn't matter. I hate that place. That honestly, hell for me would be having to live in Las Vegas. I would rather live, honest to God, I would rather live in LA. I would rather if you said same salary, you have to work in one of these 2 markets. You have to work in LA or Vegas. I'm just taking LA. I can't handle it, man. God, that place sucks.
So if I get charged for moving that, I'm writing that off.
You should honestly, you should ask. You should ask, hey, I moved this water. Because here's the other thing. The only thing worse than paying $25 for a bottle of water is paying $25 for a bottle of water that you didn't drink because you thought maybe you weren't going to get charged.
Yeah, I'm just afraid to even open the fridge. I don't even know what's in the wet bar. I'm not even touching that or the mini bar.
Our guy Camp says, does a piece of meat come with the bottled water?
Oh yeah, there's filet mignon in there.
I assume you didn't go to the Aria buffet, right?
No, we talked yesterday. I did not last night. I mean, I still have one more day. Maybe that's a thing today before the Kings game tonight.
Well, hey, the breakfast part of the buffet is a steal.
Okay.
It's $29.99, and then if you wait for lunch, it's also $29.99. But Jason, dinner tonight. By the way, the Aria buffet is a really good buffet. $46, so it's gone up even since I was last there.
And it's all you can eat. So what I might do is go during the show and bring some back for everybody.
That'd be great because they're really good with to go.
Yes, I'll feed the whole show, everybody, all the listeners too.
You should go buy a bunch of Fiji and just hand them. You should go buy a bunch of Fiji and then in the lobby just have a stack of Fijis and just be like $10 a piece.
I did that in Vegas once.
Did you really?
Did it work?
Yeah, I told you the story.
No.
I told Jason the story. So this is like the nerdy version of me. I went to a wrestling convention in Vegas. And it was at Caesars. And as you're walking up to like the ballroom where they have everybody at and everything, all the signings and everything, there's a convenience store and they have like the tall cans. It was 2 for $5. So I'm like, all right. So I just grabbed a bunch of them and put them in my backpack. And like I'm in line and like they are selling like drinks in line, but they're all Vegas price, like super oversized. And I pull one out of my backpack and this guy says like, hey, where'd you get that from? I was like, oh, downstairs in the lobby. And he's like, can I buy one from you? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I basically paid for all my drinks, me selling them.
That's fantastic. I mean, honestly, it's a good cash move to do that. I read an article once about like the guys that have the little flat top grills outside of stadiums that make the like hot dogs and peppers. Holy crap. They actually make like really good money doing that.
That is incredible.
It is. And they do it on purpose. I think they have like little fans, not like, hey, go team, like little electric fans that blow that smell everywhere. I've definitely been a victim of shockingly, of a hot dog cart a few times. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
This is a massive development for both Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks as a group as they try to keep this team that has made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals the past 2 years and just added the 4th member of the Nova Knicks, Mikal Bridges, to this team last month, together for the foreseeable future. By Jalen Brunson taking this significant discount on this extension, it sets the Knicks up to potentially offer Mikal Bridges a similar extension, either a 2-year deal in October or a 4-year deal next summer. They could also potentially extend Julius Randle, who's eligible for his own 4-year extension over the course of this upcoming season. And Hannah, they have the entire core of their team now together for at least the next couple of years. In the case of these Nova guys,
that's Tim Bontemps talking about the Jalen Brunson extension. Jason, we're going to talk about this because normally it would be just a bullet. Hey, Jalen Brunson signs an extension with the Knicks. Why do we care about this in Sacramento? I mean, it's news, but just tell us the money and say something nice about Jalen Brunson and keep it moving. This is an interesting story, though, and it needs to be talked about because it is just it is the fishiest something can possibly get when probably not breaking any rules. But it's fishy. It's salmon in the microwave fishy, Jason.
Oops.
What?
Sorry, I hit another button that was getting our feedback in my ear, but now we're good, right?
Yeah, you sound fantastic. So, okay, I figured by the lack of reaction, it's always either A, was that a really boring thing I said, maybe, or B, are you having a tech difficulty? Anyways, very fishy situation here.
Yeah, but I think I know you said we're going to talk more about it. We should because part of it looks brilliant, but I've got some questions too, just like you do on this with Brunson. But we'll see if I'm sure on his end there was some strategy behind this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just again, fishy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll take a break when we come back. The sights and sounds of Las Vegas, according to Jason Ross, when he got there, what he's seen, what he's been doing, what the environment is like. We're talking specifically about Summer League and your Sacramento Kings. We'll get to that right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of the spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. This summer, answer the call to adventure in California with Toyota's legendary reliability. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, including more hybrids than any other brand. Don't miss a low lease on the 2024 Corolla, RAV4 Hybrid, Highlander, Tacoma, and even the new all-hybrid 2025 Camry. It's time to make this summer one to remember. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit and 73124.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, even though Brent Rooker was certainly deserving with his 18 homers and 54 RBIs, the A's electric closer Mason Miller is the team's representative in the All-Star game. Now, he joins a list of 5 other Oakland rookies who have been named to the team over the years. Names like Wayne Gross, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Andrew Bailey, and Ryan Cook.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
18 number ones.
What was I thinking?
Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers Plumbing, Rooter, and Heat, and Dawson Oil Company.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 Special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live. Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Christopher Lott. And Jason is in Las Vegas with his $25 bottle of water. Good morning. Oop. Wait. And wait.
Nah.
Chris is there. We are. Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Water never tasted so good.
So
This is the height of luxury.
I'll bring up the question everybody wants to know about Summer League, Jason, and your experience is, and just going into the YouTube chat, I see it. How is Bronny James? How's he doing? How's he look? How does this affect LeBron's legacy?
That's the whole thing, Dave. I mean, everything here is about Bronny. It's about the Lakers. Also, how it impacts the Cowboys, too. It's weird. I mean, and the Yankees.
It's funny you bring up the Yankees and the Cowboys. Because, I don't know. Look, Chris is a contrarian. I always have fun with him on that. but like we all have, maybe not all of us. I don't think you have this, Jason, because you're a good person, but we all have a little bit of contrarian. I'm beginning to actually kind of root for Bronny James. I honest to God, and I never thought I would. I never thought I'd say that, but the rhetoric on him, and I get it's fun and interesting and whatever. The rhetoric on Bronny James is crazy. It's like, okay, feel how you want to feel about LeBron. Number one, that's everything's your right. You can feel however you want. Number two, is he getting special treatment because he's LeBron's kid? Yeah. Let's just acknowledge some of these things right away. Like this shouldn't even be a debate or an argument. Here's my thing. This kid, his dad was born to a single mom in a crappy part of town with no money, and his God-given talent and work ethic got him to where he is. You may disagree with a lot of stuff, but you can't disagree he's very good at basketball and has made a good life for himself. So Bronny is born with like the silveriest of silver spoons in his mouth, right? No problem. If I'm Bronny, if you're Bronny, if Christopher Laud's Bronny, odds are I'm just like, it probably looks a lot like the movie Billy Madison. I am 20 years old and I am having shampoo and conditioner fights in my gold-plated bathtub. I am rolling around drinking kegs with Norm Macdonald, my other buddies, rest in peace. I'm just an absolute big fat loser face, because why not? This dude decides to dedicate his life to what his dad did, play a ton of basketball. Let's not act like Bronny James is some scrub like YMCA kid. Like he's at worst a Division I college basketball player, like at worst. So he knows he's going to be in his dad's shadow. He knows no matter what, his entire world's going to be picked apart. He could legitimately just be like, oh, I'm gonna team up with Mav Carter and Rich Paul and be behind the scenes and make a ton of money, or I'm going to go do this. He can do anything but play basketball. What does he do? He goes and he plays basketball, and he's in the spotlight, and he gets this stuff, which none of us would say no to. And God knows behind the scenes how many conversations, if they're having, do we ever consider that he's saying, Dad, please don't interfere? I don't know. I can understand the vitriol towards his dad to a point, but this kid who, oh, by the way, had a heart attack like a year ago, right? And is still playing and getting drafted and doing his best, and seeing him as a meme and the stuff that's being said. Like I don't feel bad for him. I feel like it's kind of bullying. Like, I just feel like I look at it and I go, dude, what did he do wrong? And lastly, you bring up the Yankees and Cowboys. Who owns the Yankees? Hal Steinbrenner. Who owns the Cowboys? Jerry Jones. Who's the GM? Stephen Jones. Who was the GM of the Kings, the Stockton Kings last year? Anjali Ranadive. Like, nepotism is everywhere. It happens. I'm not saying I like it, but I'm saying it exists. Thanasis Antetokounmpo is like not good at basketball, but he has a contract basically for life as long as Giannis is in the league, because his last name is Antetokounmpo. I get that we joke about that sometimes, but people aren't freaking out about that nearly as much as they're freaking out about this 20-year-old kid coming off a heart attack, doing the best he can. He's obviously some sort of fringe NBA talent. Like, Christ almighty, why are we killing this dude?
Yeah, and believe it or not, though, I mean, we were kind of poking fun at it, but he is a draw, and it's partly the Lakers. The Lakers have always been a draw in Vegas. The Kings finished their game Friday night. That game was just a tough watch, but regardless, finished that game, went to the other arena, and the Lakers were going. You could just tell there was just a different buzz, different feeling, because one, it was the Lakers, and it was Bronny. And so it was down low watching some of that game, which was cool to kind of be there and close. And first observation is he's smaller than I thought. I mean, I knew but he can get off the ground. And, I mean, look, he's just he's going to be a fringe guy. I think that's the perfect way to do it, or to label it. And he'll probably get extra opportunities to see if he is a guy, but he's a fringe guy. I think he'll be more of a G leaguer, and with opportunities, though, based on the name, yes, but he'll also have chances to prove it. And if he does, then more power to him.
Like, what's he supposed to do? I want to play basketball. So he's just supposed to not play basketball?
Right, exactly.
Earl in the chat, who hates him, says he's not dedicating his life to what his dad did. He's using nepotism to his advantage to get some kind of contract so he doesn't have to live off his dad forever. Well, there's a lot in there we could talk about, but definitely doesn't need the money. Definitely could make the money in about $1 billion other ways. He could have a podcast in which his dad is the guest every week and probably match in advertising, if not exceed in advertising, what he's making from his NBA contract. Not to mention the amount of movie deals and God knows what that come across LeBron's desk constantly that he could get a piece of. Like, I'm telling you right now, the money solely from his NBA contract is less than what he could make in business with his dad aside from the NBA.
Yeah.
Just saying, factually. Yeah. And then MC wants to know why he had a heart attack. Because, of course, that's what MC is going to bring up. We'll take a break.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, you were saying some other sights and sounds from Vegas. I will say this. First off, A+ people watching place right now. I mean, just A+. Just whether you see someone NBA-wide or just different people, random people. Derrick Henry, running into him in the lobby. Not literally, because he would have knocked me over.
Yeah, you wouldn't be talking today.
He's a truck. My goodness. Also, the Grateful Dead here at the Sphere, getting just enough. I wasn't in there, but just closer look at the Sphere. It's just amazing. And then the last thing, Dave, is going by the Trop and seeing the demolition of part of it and seeing where the A's, like where they're trying to put it. I hadn't really pictured it until it being right there. Boy, I do have the questions about the site and the size of it. The site actually would be great if they can execute it. It's just, I got 1,000 questions on that.
Oh, why? You think it's weird?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, there was also we'll get into it later this week when we don't have anything to talk about and you're gone. There was a council meeting over the week, or excuse me, I think it was on Friday, just discussing a lot of. Right now, it's basically we're still working on it, and the A's are going to present the thing at some point. Here we go. Yeah. They're going to present it at some point. And oh, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, Tony Clark and the Players Association, we talked about this a little bit last week, are now you're starting to hear things like, wow, it's really going to be hot out there. Let's discuss. Oh, hey, it's going to be hot in Sacramento next year. What can we do? This might be a problem. You think? Maybe. Yeah. We'll take a break. Speaking of baseball, safe or out. We had a draft over the weekend in baseball. The A's, speaking of, my goodness, those swinging A's. And Jason, your Yankees are in the spotlight. Yeah, they are. We'll talk about that right after this.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available in special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. And 7/31/24.
Made a great deal of Maida.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Safe or out? Earl's, guys, am I on something? Did I not say in the last segment? Because Earl's asking, in what ways could Bronny make more money than playing? Didn't I do a whole thing on that, or am I having a stroke? Didn't I explain like avenues he could make more money than playing basketball?
Yes.
Thank you, Earl. Go back and listen, pal. It's not. We're not narrowcasting here. We're broadcasting to the world, and by world I mean all of you watching. Safe or out? Enjoy it. Question 1.
The MLB draft happened this weekend. Safe or out? Baseball's draft just isn't a big deal.
Safe. And then, so the question is why? Like, the basketball draft is a huge deal. The NFL draft is a massive deal. It's like NFL-a-palooza. Even the hockey draft they had it at the Thinger down there in Vegas that you were just talking about, the Sphere. Like, yeah. And I would say this, like, obviously, number one, it's far more difficult to know that like a number 1 pick in baseball is going to be that guy as opposed to the NFL or NBA or hockey. Like for every Anthony Bennett in the NBA, there's like 1,000 Anthony Davises or LeBron James or, whomever. In baseball, like you can go back through the list of number 1 picks or even top 5 picks in baseball. And it's like Freddie Johnstone. He made it to AA. He was the number 3 pick. So it's the uncertainty, number 1. Number 2, I think it's also the setup. Unlike football and unlike basketball, college baseball is really not that big of a deal. Why? Well, because most of the best college baseball players, are playing professionally and are drafted out of high school. So if you had a situation, Jason, where every year, like at the end of the AAA, at the end of the baseball season, every team could draft from anybody's farm system, that would actually be kind of interesting. Like you literally draft like the number 1 prospect for the Yankees if you're the Giants, if that prospect isn't put on the major league roster. If they ever did something like that, the draft would be a hell of a lot more interesting. The problem is just a grab bag. Nobody knows who the hell is going to do what.
Yeah, and I think part of it too, if we look at college football, college basketball, that's more of a follow in general, like in a generality than college baseball, and or some guys that are getting drafted out of high school, with the exception of when you hear of a Bryce Harper or someone like that that's getting enough attention. But that just doesn't happen enough in baseball. Like the next up and coming, if Aaron Judge is one of the great players, I don't remember him at Fresno State or hearing about him before. Eventually getting to the major leagues. Mookie Betts, one of the great. I don't remember hearing of him before he ultimately got up to the Red Sox. Like you just don't. It's just a different way the sport works. But I think baseball is probably, and it also used to be like 50 rounds. It's
God, yeah.
It's just so long. But the other, it's They're trying to make it bigger and better. It's not the same as the other drafts.
Just for funsies, Jason, give me a year between 2000 and let's say 2015.
2011.
Okay, just random. I have no idea. This could completely prove the point wrong. Here are your top 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's your top 10 picks. Number 10. This is just it sounds like something I'm making up, but I'm not. Corey Spangenberg.
That's not real.
San Diego, second baseman. No clue. Number 9, Javier Baez. Okay. Number 8, Francisco Lindor. Okay. All right. Number 7, Archie Bradley. Number 6, Anthony Rendon. Number 5, Bubba Starling. Number 4, Dylan Bundy. Number 3, Trevor Bauer. Trevor, he won it. I get it with Trevor Bauer, but he won a side, didn't he?
I think so.
Thought he did. Okay. Yeah. Number 2, the Seattle Mariners, Danny Holtzen. Number 1, career. Garrett Cole.
Okay.
So you see, like, there's just no rhyme or reason. You're obviously gonna get good players in the top 10. You just don't know where the hell they're gonna be at.
Right, exactly.
So, anyways, question 2, please.
The A's annihilated the Phillies with 8 home runs. Safe or out? This is a sign of things to come, or in any given Sunday in baseball?
I guess it's weird because I asked 2 things and then I'm asking you safe or out. Poorly worded question on my part. I would say safe. It's any given Sunday in baseball.
Out. It's not a thing to come.
Right. I look, the A's have had some pretty crazy results this year on the offensive end, and it seems like at least once a month they have some sort of like insane offensive output. And you're like, hey, and then, they lose like 9 of whatever, and it is what it is. But boy, that was kind of fun to watch. Now, on May 4th, they beat the Miami Marlins 20-4. That was pretty cool. And then last night they just go into, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, they just go into Philly and give them just a walloping. But don't forget, just a couple weeks ago, July 6th, they went to Baltimore and put up 19 on the Orioles. So they've put up 18 on Philly, 19 on the Orioles, and 20 on the Marlins. But you know what? It's going to happen sometimes. It shows the potential there. Obviously, these guys can hit, but also I think you have to have the other team's pitchers cooperate a little bit too.
That's a bat flap, an 18, a 19, and a 20-run game.
Big time bat flap.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what you said. It's both. Like, it's an any given thing, or 8 home runs. That's a franchise record tying. So that seems like an outlier. But also, yeah, I mean, they might win 5 in a row, and you're like, here come the A's, and then there's losing 14 of 16. So they've kind of done a little bit of everything this year. That one's a double. That's a safe and an out.
Number 3.
Jason, it was a comedy of errors, and the Yankees lost to the Orioles yesterday. Safe or out? New York is vulnerable.
And I don't mean emotionally.
Yes. I was emotional. Actually, I did see that play. I was walking through one of the casinos. I said, oh, wait, here we go. 2 outs in the 9th. Let's watch this final out. Let's hope. And I saw the exact – it was the play before that first one. Volpe couldn't field the grounder. And then the fly ball to Verdugo that he just little leagued. I don't know what happened there. And what a swing, Dave. Like, the Yankees haven't been playing well, and they were about to go for a sweep of Baltimore and actually have the lead now all of a sudden going into the All-Star break. Instead, emotional win for Baltimore, bad loss for the Yankees, and Baltimore felt good going into the break. So, Yankees have to get a little bit healthier, probably do something again at the deadline like most teams do, but they're still really good. Just kind of have to play their best at the end.
The Astros are just a game behind Seattle, and they've been going back and forth. The AL West is going to be fun, but I'll go back to what we said before the season started, Jason. That AL East is going to be a blast. That is a race that is going to be an absolute blast to watch over the next few months.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you? Or do you just want the Yankees to win 20 in a row and not have it be fun?
Well, can both be true?
We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, it was a soccer weekend, and there was chaos and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yes, I know some of you are like, soccer, but look, it was a soccer weekend, and we won't get into the deep details, but we'll get into the crazy stuff. We'll do all that right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Monday, stepping outside to the comfort of 60s this morning. We'll see mainly sun and clouds for the afternoon with light southwest wind. Highs today will peak in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Staples, young man. Tomorrow's my big day. Big day? First grade. Aw. Well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue. I need a laptop. Oh, yeah, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $300 on select PCs for school. Wait. The finances are Mom's department. Right. I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor. Boy, first grade has really changed. Tell me about it.
Save big on tech for school with super low Staples Hot Deals. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Ends 8/24.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt power tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Legend says that golf courses are made up of 18 holes because it took exactly 18 shots to finish a fifth of scotch, a shot per hole. As it turns out, the 18-hole limit came to be somewhat accidentally. In truth, there was no standard number of holes on a course. In the beginning, it might have been 11, 23, 15, or 7. St. Andrews, for example, had 22 holes until 1764 when 4 were merged to make it an 18-hole course. The exact date when 18 holes became the standard is a bit sketchy, but according to the British Golf Museum, the R&A issued new rules for its members in 1858, and Rule 1 stated, 1 round of the links or 18 holes is reckoned a match unless otherwise stipulated. We can only presume that this was slowly adopted throughout Britain. By the 1870s, more courses had 18 holes, and a round of golf was being accepted as consisting of 18 holes. Maybe not as romantic as the story of the bottle of scotch, but the truth is always stranger than fiction. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, hour number 2. Jason's in Vegas. I am here. Chris is there. Everybody there meaning across from me. Let me lay out. Everybody pull out your calendars so you know this, so there's no surprises. Jason, today is his last day before his vacation begins. He will be gone the rest of the week, and then next Monday and Tuesday. And we'll get exactly 0 people going, oh, Jason's on vacation again. Must be nice. Then I will be gone. So Jason comes back Wednesday, and then I will be gone. And I will be gone from the – Jason, you and I were on the phone last night. Yeah. I forget. I will be gone Wednesday, and I will return Monday the 12th of August. So that's an extended leave, to which I will get 100,000 people saying, oh, maybe not on vacation again. So, that's how it works. It's fine. And then at some point in the middle of that, you're gone again.
Yeah.
And we have actually no idea what's going to happen. It might just be the Christopher Lodge show.
I will also be on vacation during that time.
Yeah. Did I know that?
No, I was supposed to be on. I was supposed to be on vacation last week. I was supposed to be on vacation last week, but we had some stuff come around here and we're down a person. So I just had to suck it up and stay here.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's it. Jason, aren't you glad you're not the program director anymore? Days like weeks like this.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I got you. Or do I? Jason?
Got me? Okay. Aren't I glad what?
Aren't you glad you're not the PD for weeks like this? Because you would have. Is he dropping?
He's like freezing.
Is he freezing? Why? And you don't mean cold, right?
No.
There we go. We got him back. All right.
Or he's just messing with us and pretending to freeze.
No, that's weird. That's the first time this happened. The whole hour plus.
So there's that. I would just like to, by the way, I would like to just reiterate to everybody, because nobody's going to be like, huh, well, interesting. My last time off, I think, was what, February? Maybe even February? Or I think I took like a day off somewhere. Wasn't it February though? Last time I was off?
I think so. Yeah, you had the All-Star break.
Yeah, it was the NBA All-Star break. It's been what? It's gonna be like 6 months. Can I take a few days off? Can I take a few days off? Can I?
You want to see my days off?
And then on the 12th, I will return the day after my birthday. Thank you. Then we will all be full strength, and we will have a couple of weeks of, training camp and this and that and whatever. And then next thing you know, boom, preseason, NFL starts. So we're coming toward, even though we're a ways out, we're coming up on the downhill slope before we get to the good stuff. And the biggest reason I'm bringing this up is that starting tomorrow, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be 6 consecutive shows of myself and Chris Verlade in summer during the Major League Baseball All-Star break. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just want to lay out some expectations. Number one, my ADD is going to be through the roof, and Chris, instead of being A, the producer of the program, and B, literal management of the station, is going to stoke that ADD just because. B, we're probably going to replay every single interview. Like, hey, coming up next, Whitey and Kyle spoke to Fred Smith, who had a hole-in-one at Foothill Golf Course yesterday, and we want to make sure you hear that. Expect a lot of that stuff. And we'll probably do at some point. We'll go back to some night show tricks, like an all-request Thursday, where we'll just have you throw out topics. I guarantee you there'll be a couple Mount Rushmores and which would you rather. So it's simultaneously some of the worst and best radio, but it will be like a car crash, and you can watch that or listen to that or both live all week. And Jason, we do hope that you're able to have a great time up in, because Bandon Dunes, and then, I don't want to throw that in there, but you were in Oregon. That was a thing you absolutely were proud to do. And then now New Orleans, and then where are you going for the other time?
We're going to Hawaii. That's gonna be great.
Jason goes to Bandon Dunes for a week, then goes to New Orleans for a week, and goes to Hawaii for a week. And you know what everyone's going to say? Jason's a great guy. Jason deserves this time off. I'm gone for like 2 days, and it's like, lazy.
I would say this is my by far best vacation. We normally don't do 2 vacations in a year, but also 2 in a short amount of time. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And then being back. So it's like, I think today, Dave, is our last day together until August 12th.
Jeez, it's almost a month, Jason.
Yeah, because you'll be solo. I'll be solo with Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. And in all seriousness, though, Jason deserves it, because remember, Jason can't take time off really during the NBA season, which goes from basically start of October till either end of April, May, depending on how good the Kings are. You can take time off, but it doesn't count because you have to work the other job. You take time off from the Kings, you work here. So anyways, very happy to see you getting some time off. All right, I've eaten up half the soccer segment on purpose, because I know how y'all are. It was a soccer weekend. Spain wins the Euro championship thingy-dingy. Chris, your thoughts? England crushed. They kept saying it's coming home.
England does what they do best, lose in a final.
Wow. How about that?
Shots
like
fired.
We all knew it was happening. I wasn't surprised at all.
Well, plus Spain's pretty good, right?
Spain's very good.
And then the Copa America. Is Copa America, is it like always been a huge thing, or has it just been like a huger thing?
It usually takes place in South America.
Okay. So it's up here in the old US of A, and you might have seen some of the stuff on
as a dress rehearsal for the World Cup.
The World Cup. And you've seen a number of people that are kind of saying, oh, if this is a dress rehearsal for the World Cup, you guys are screwed. America dropped the ball. And in talking to and look, here's at least the story I've been told. Chris, feel free to pick at it a bit. this is controlled by CONMEBOL, which is kind of in charge of the whole Copa America. Although they're United States venues, CONMEBOL is the one that kind of oversees everything. And the reason why, as much as I like bashing, stuff like that all day long, the reason I kind of tend to side with that thought is that we have Super Bowls, we have Taylor Swift concerts, we have football games, like American football games. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, college football national championships that are in or around that, literally that stadium, time to time. And yesterday, I'm watching video of people like legitimately crawling up through air ducts to get in there. The stories you heard are just crushing. People that traveled not just from, like Texas, but people who traveled from other countries to get there with their kids, have tickets, and then they're told, they get to their seats and somebody's in them, and security's like, meh, whatever. There were pictures of people holding full bottles of tequila. So here's what I'm looking at as this match is going, Chris and Jason. Like, okay, sounds like there's more people there than supposed to be, number one. Number two, nobody cares about tickets anymore. They're just going in, which means if you're sneaking bottles in or you're sneaking weapons in, it's overcrowded. Emotions are incredibly high. It's an incredibly close game, a ton of pressure, overcrowding. Like, I didn't want to say anything because it's one of those, like, you don't want to put it out in the ether, but maybe the biggest surprise in sports over the weekend is that it wasn't a complete and total unmitigated tragic disaster at that place yesterday. The fact that they were able to play the match, and it sounds like really everything was, I'm sure there were arrests and things that happened, but what it could have been, what we've seen in other countries happen, I don't know what the difference is, Chris.
No, this is a partnership and failure between the United States and CONMEBOL. Now I'll say the United States Soccer Federation, they had nothing to do with this. CONCACAF had nothing to do with this, so I'll agree with that. But CONMEBOL basically let all of the stadiums take control of everything. And what was the major factor in all of this was money. Yeah. What's the least amount of security we can get away with? What's the least amount we could do with this? What's the least way we could do with the grass? This is all a cash grab.
Yeah.
And that's, if you're saying like, hey, how can we make this for the cheap? We don't have to hire that many security guards. When in reality, this is a final that's just below the World Cup.
Right.
This is a Super Bowl like event that they had no intentions of using Super Bowl like security for this event.
What do you say? Because I'm not educated enough to know the answer here. And it seems like a semi-problematic question. I admit that. I was asked by a number of people who would say things like, yeah, you also don't understand the culture in other countries too. This is a country thing as well. When you have the people coming up here from Colombia, Argentina, like you see this stuff happen elsewhere because the culture in soccer is different.
Nothing like this happened for the final of the last Copa America.
But what is the proper answer when you look at all the disasters that happen time to time in soccer around the world, and then what happened yesterday, which wasn't a disaster, but very much what seemed out of pocket for something happening on American soil? Is it completely just a failure in security, or is there something, and I don't mean culture as far as race, obviously. I mean culture as far as sports culture, specifically sports culture and passion, i.e. in England, as we've talked about many times, and in many other countries, like what we saw yesterday, Argentinian fans next to Colombian fans, like specks of light blue and yellow interspersed throughout. Like, you don't see that in a lot of places elsewhere because they have to be completely separated. So is there something, taking all the problematics out of it, in the culture of the sport internationally that is different from what we're used to here from a safety standpoint?
Yeah, around the world, they care more about sports than we do.
Well, is it do they care? Is it care more about sports?
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a hard time.
Would you walk into a vent to get to a Kings game?
Would I what?
Would you walk through a vent to get into a Kings game?
I think some people would.
I mean,
some people would.
I'm really trying to give you
would that amount of people?
If you're asking me personally,
yes.
If I had no other access and it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals and the Kings were involved,
and it's you and about 80 other people.
I think it's one of those things. If someone started it, I believe, and people are outside Golden One, I think people would do that.
I think they would too. I got to be honest, I wouldn't. I'd be too claustrophobic. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. But I agree with you, Jason. I think they would.
But in your 20s, you would have, Dave.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't know. I'm stuck on the whole, and the problem is I can't argue it because you can't prove anything. I don't have a basis of logic. I'm stuck on the whole. They care more.
There's people with like Messi next to pictures of Jesus, and they don't know who they love more.
But is that maybe I'm stuck on the word care versus fanaticism?
Okay.
Like I care as much as somebody can possibly care about how the Kings do. But I do not think that Keegan Murray is Jesus. I mean, he might be, but I don't. I can't imagine that. But so is that caring more, or is that being a little bit?
Well, if you care about a game, then wouldn't you say that you're being fanatic to begin with?
If you care about it?
If you care about a game.
I think there's a difference between caring about a game and being fanatical. I do think there's...
But like just the idea of caring about a game, it's just a game. Nothing's going to change.
Oh, you mean philosophically?
Yeah.
Well, yes, this entire job is BS because we talk for 4 hours about dudes playing with balls. I've said that many times, but we're all wackos. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Jalen Brunson in a questionable deal. Bronny James speaks. Is he telling the truth, do you think? And we'll get Jason's impressions from all the scuttlebutt he's hearing and seeing down in Las Vegas. But I do want to say, when Jason answers the question I'm going to ask him about what he's hearing, we will have guests later this week that may or may not agree with what Jason has taken away from Las Vegas. And folks, we like to call that a second opinion, much like you would get a second opinion from my friends at American Energy Heating and Air if you're dealing with replacing your HVAC system, if you're dealing with getting repairs on your HVAC system. And that is really the theme of the month for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Is they are your second opinion partners. And sure, there's a lot of other things I could talk about with them, but, we're sticking to messaging here as best we can. They've been around since 1981. By the way, 30-second break, everybody. You can't go anywhere. They've been around since 1981. They have an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Why do I tell you that each and every time? Because what is the difference between Fred's HVAC and John's HVAC and Susan's HVAC and Billy's HVAC? Well, they all fix air conditioners. And unless you've worked in the business or related to somebody, or you just happen to have a hobby of researching HVACs, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Neither do I. But what matters is 2 things, really: price and reliability / reputation. So maybe 3 things. And that's where American Energy is telling you they have all 3. You can go to Google, you can go to Yelp, you can look at their reviews. You can trust the A+ with the Better Business Bureau and know that they've been in the market for about 45 years. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. I appreciate the person on the text line at 916-339-1140 who said that was a good, subtle Ross Perot reference. Thank you for, it's always nice when a subtle reference gets called out. When we come back, 3 for Madness in 30 seconds.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, look, coming up in the second half of the program, top of the hour, we'll start it. A 20-minute sit-down with Monty McNair, and maybe the best part of the whole thing, I'm not involved in any way. So you get a professional guy doing professional things in Jason Ross. Jason, I have not heard the interview. We spoke briefly about it last night. I'm putting you on the spot here, but can you give me like one tease from it? Maybe a question you asked people are going to want to know the answer to, anything at all?
Monty will unveil every single future draft choice and trade for the next 10 years.
That is about as good of a tease as possible. And by the way, is he also going to diagram who is on his radar for trades, not just later this summer, but also the trade deadline?
Yeah, everything. It's all laid out.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. I think he misses you, though, by the way.
Oh, do you?
I think so. I think it's a one-sided Drew Timmy thing. You're upset with him. I think he's good with you.
Oh, I'll be honest. I showed you the texts. Like, he's apologetic. He tried to throw the rest of his front office under the bus. Yeah, he definitely is trying to make amends. I'm not going to confirm or deny. I got a really nice vase of flowers. Vase, but they were in Gonzaga colors, and I know what he's trying to do. So, anyways, 20-minute sit down with Monty McNair exclusively on your home of the King, Sacktown Sports. 3 for Madness. Question 1.
Jalen Brunson signed a discounted extension over the weekend. Have the Knicks had the best offseason?
I think they have. I really do. We're going to talk about this and the culture of the Knicks at 7:43. And you probably don't care about the culture of the Knicks, but you should care about this discounted extension because it is rather interesting. But when you look at Leon Rose and the rest of the team that's come in there, absolutely do not discount the fact, and this is deep. This is a deep NBA cut. But a guy by the name of Worldwide Wes, who also is kind of a shadowy part of that franchise. And I don't mean that in an evil way. I'm just saying this is the most connected dude in the sport, along with Leon Rose, who's one of them. Jalen Brunson's dad is an assistant. But beyond that, the OG Anunoby deal extension, Mikal Bridges, now Jalen Brunson. And, oh, by the way, they're still sitting and waiting to see if Julius Randle's going to pick up his player option. And they're either going to plug in a 25-point, 10-board-a-game guy into the power forward spot, or they're going to trade him for even more assets. They're in an excellent position right now. And, Jason, if you look as to when those guys took over and the state the Knicks were in to where they're at right now, really starting with the Jalen Brunson signing away from Dallas, this is – rebuilding a team 101. It's tough to think they could have done any better.
Yeah, they're already good. They had an exciting year. They want to stay good, stay relevant, stay good for a long time. And by mortgaging a bunch of future draft picks, it does hurt their future a little bit. But by doing some financial freedom like Brunson has, it does give them that opportunity, like you said, to either re-sign Randle or extend Bridges, and or move for other pieces and basically allow them to try to get other players. So not everybody does this. We heard LeBron was willing to take a little bit of a haircut there for the Lakers if everything kind of fell right. Well, nothing did for them. But here's Brunson doing that, kind of being proactive. So I mean, good for him. Not everybody does it, like I said, but he wants to give themselves the best chance to win.
Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Bronny James says he's okay with any assignment he's given by the Lakers. Do you believe him?
Look, let's be clear here. I'm sure he has preferences. I don't think he's going to be perfectly okay, for example, with going to the G League as opposed to playing for the Lakers. So, but I get what he's trying to say, which is, hey, look, no matter what happens, I'm not going to raise a stink. I don't think the question is he okay with it? I think the question is, will Rich Paul and will LeBron James be okay with it? And by the way, it shouldn't matter, but the Lakers are a circus franchise, and they're run by Rich Paul and LeBron James. So when we talked earlier about the hatred towards Bronny, I don't really understand that. I do understand the disdain for LeBron and Rich Paul and what they're doing. I get it. But ultimately, it's one of those things where I think you just make a case. If if Bronny James, who spent 1 year at USC and a limited amount of time playing at that, coming off of the heart issue, and then his whole thing is that he's going to ride the bench and get no playing time. And imagine how crazy that is when you've got LeBron James playing for the team. His podcasting partner is the head coach who's going to dictate the amount of playing time his son gets. I think the case to be made would be, guys, do you want to force Bronny in and trash his confidence early in his career and have him play 5-6 minutes a game, which is almost impossible to come in and make an impact? Or how about he goes and he plays 25 to 30 minutes a night in the G League and shines and figures out how to be a professional. And then if he's making it work there, then he can come on board and get some real minutes. And if he's not making it there, well, it would have been a disaster and an embarrassment to him and a distraction for the Lakers. That would seem to be the logical way to go, Jason.
Yeah, I think the best thing for him is what you said. Give him some reps, give him some opportunity. He didn't play a lot of basketball last year with his health issues. He's still relatively young overall, just coming from high school to a few games at USC. And then, look, part of this is a novelty. We've never seen this. So at some point, I'm sure he's going to be on the NBA floor with his dad. I think that's the unique nature of this. Now, does that mean he's starting in the backcourt and playing 30 minutes? There's no way. I would be shocked with that. But could I see them throwing a lob to one another in a game for a highlight that lives forever? Absolutely. I think that's going to happen.
I want to see the Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Miami Heat alley-oop picture recreated with his son.
Yeah.
That'd be a great moment.
Absolutely.
Question 3.
Jason. Oh, sorry. I'm reading the wrong one.
Are you?
Yeah, I almost made fun of the Yankees again.
Yeah.
Jason, any impressions or gut feelings you want to share from your time in Vegas?
Let me jump in here because Chris told us we are late for a break. So here's what we'll do. We'll take a break right now. Jason, when we come back, please have your answer ready. We'll lead off with that. And also a question that was being bandied around at the wedding I was at. Always a fun place to get sports radio topics. What makes a sport? What defines a sport? We'll explain that and get Jason's impressions of Vegas coming up right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
There is a different vibe at night at the Hagen Oaks Range powered by Top Tracer. It's more relaxed with golfers and newbies side by side enjoying the technology used on televised golf tournaments. Play a variety of fun games. Play Pebble Beach. Compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Or treat yourself to 9 holes on the Mackenzie putting course. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. And don't forget to check the summer-long free concert schedule at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue and Cap City Freeway.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits. As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high-low conditions versus API SP test limits.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Welcome back. As promised, number 3 on 3 for Madness was Jason, any impressions or gut feelings you want to share from your time in Vegas other than the $25 bottle of Fiji in his room we discussed earlier?
So this is when I do my routine, my impressions. I mean, I don't have a lot of them, but is this when it happens?
Is what?
Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah. You said impressions. I had a whole routine. I was going to do my impersonations, my different voices.
Oh, we would take impersonations. Do you have a vest?
Oh, speaking of vest, that does come up in the Monte interview.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I appreciate the hard-hitting questions.
Yes. I got to get to the hard-hitting stuff. You asked about, I mean, my gut feeling on talking to a few people around here, Kings related, is, well, they're literally aren't done because there are 2 roster spots, right?
Right.
That will be filled. Now, for the Kuzma, Ingram, Markkanen, potentially others talk, that seems to be very quiet, like very, very quiet. So doesn't mean that can't resurface, doesn't mean that can't change, but I get the feeling as of kind of what they are now, this might be kind of the group that goes into camp. I mean, and we'll hear some of that with Monty. I mean, I kind of asked what's next for them. That's coming up in our interview at 8. But I know they like what they've got right now, but I think we all look at it and go, yeah, I think there's elements that are certainly better. I mean, I think they're a better team today. How much better? That's to be determined. But I think we can all look at it, Dave, and go, ooh, is there enough size up front? Maybe a 4 or 5 or, and not just, hey, they added a 4 and 5 and there's depth, but maybe someone that really can contribute. So I still have some questions on some size up front. Certainly we've all talked about defense, but and maybe there's options during the season that could be addressed if you still have some talented guards out there that could be moved later, or maybe they're not hearing what they want to hear from other teams right now. You don't just do it just to do it. So that's kind of what it feels like. But again, that I think the winds can change at any time.
And we often have this conversation. It's a lot like polling, for example. If somebody has a 70% chance of winning and they lose, it doesn't mean the polling was wrong. It means the 30% happened. It's the same thing with something like what you just said. It seems like your impression is that, and I would imagine your correct impression is that as far as big moves this summer, and I would say a big move, would we say a big move means starter or better? Is that probably the definition of a big move? So are the impression is that those are done. That being said, you have no way of knowing, just like Monty has no way of knowing, or Wes has no way of knowing whether Fred GM from some other club is going to call tomorrow and say, hey, how about this guy you've been asking about? We're ready to come off of him. And then boom, there's a big move.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say, like, in by and large, I mean, the big moves have been addressed, and we've talked about them over time. And maybe because they kind of came spaced out, maybe it doesn't feel like the overall splash, but I think it should. I mean, extending Mike Brown, keeping Malik was massive. Trading for DeRozan, drafting Carter feels incomplete now, obviously, because he's not going to be able to play for a while. And then, adding McLaughlin and McDaniels, and there's differing, right now those feel like lesser moves because what impact will they have? I don't think that anybody can answer that. Like if either of those two become much more impactful, then that's obviously great. But let's go a year ago, Dave. I think a lot of us were, I wouldn't say over the top, but pretty excited about Sasha coming in. And at the end, it was kind of meh. I mean, wasn't much to his fault, the team's fault. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. But if there was excitement for that move, that one didn't really pan out. And sometimes these other moves do pan out. So a lot of it is a wait and see. But I do think they've done some pretty splashy things so far.
I'm trying to think. Other than, so we didn't have a draft pick last year. We did, but traded it. I'm trying to think. Other than, well, you bring up an interesting point. Other than Sasha, were there any other? So Chris Duarte comes in. I got it in front of me now. Sasha Vezenkov comes in.
JaVale
McGee. And I'm trying to think.
And then the young guys like Colby Jones, second rounder, fringe guys. Yeah.
Don't forget Philip Petrusev.
Yes.
Juan Toscano Anderson. Completely forgot about that one.
That was during the year. Yeah.
But it's interesting how expectations can be so confounded because last year it's the Kings were the 3 seed in the first year. Fox and Sabonis had a full season together. You've got your executive of the year. You have your coach of the year, clutch player of the year, all NBA player in Sabonis. You just added the EuroLeague MVP in his prime, the same league that Luka Doncic won his MVP, to add outside shooting amongst other things. You bring in Duarte for defense. What a great pickup for Monty McNair. And then you look a year later, the Kings went from the 3 seed to missing the playoffs. Chris Duarte is already gone. Sasha Vezenkov is already gone. And here we are, arguably as if not more excited than last year with DeMar DeRozan being added in. And that's considering that the top pick, which we have now, is going to miss at least half, if not more, of the season. It's interesting how the mind works.
Yeah, and I would say being out here in Vegas too for a couple of days so far of Summer League, I feel like it's kind of a constant theme of people do think the Kings got better, but I think that's the big mystery is what is better? How do you quantify? I think they just feel like they're overall more talented, but still some questions, still some things. And does that mean a top 6? Does that mean, what does that mean? And I think that's probably the question, honestly, though, that we can say for Sacramento, but I would say for a lot of teams in the West. So I think this year has a lot of excitement and anticipation, just how it's going to shake out with all these teams, how all these moves will fit for everybody.
Not that it necessarily matters, but it's always interesting to see what Las Vegas is looking at. DraftKings came out with their NBA over/under win total projections for next season. The Celtics, no surprise, all right, 57.5 wins. What does this mean? Just in case some of you don't know, the sportsbooks will come out with a number like that, and then your job is to bet that the Celtics would win more than 57.5. So, of course, that's why there's always a decimal point there. So either the Celtics are going to win 58 or more, and you bet the over, or they're going to win under 57, you bet the under. That's how it works. So they're trying to guess how many wins each team will have. The Oklahoma City Thunder are projected to have the best record in the West and the second best record in the sport at 54.5 wins, followed by the Timberwolves and Nuggets at 52.5, the Knicks, Sixers, and Bucks at 51.5, the defending Western Conference champion Dallas Mavericks at 50.5, Magic and Cavs tied at 47.5, the Suns and Grizzlies tied at 46.5, And then you have a 3-way tie between the Pacers, of course, the Pelicans, and the Sacramento Kings. So 45.5 is the over-under for the Kings, according to DraftKings. That would put them, if everything was held up, that would put them in a tie at best with New Orleans for the 7-8 seeds. The reason why I say at best, Jason, is that the Bulls, the Jazz, and most importantly, the Golden State Warriors are not listed due to potential trades that could change their totals. And I would imagine if the Warriors were to trade for Lauri Markkanen, which is rumored, which is probably why the Jazz are off the board, if they were to do that, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying if you had Markkanen in there with, say, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and friends, that might push them at or above where the Kings are, which would put them firmly at the bottom of the play-in. So according to Vegas, at least early results, the Kings are going to win between 46 and 48 games. That's great. But as you just said, the West got better, and if that stood up, they're a play-in team.
Yeah, and what's interesting, that number, and I bring this up with Monty in the interview coming up at 8, where I think he said it, David, kind of perked both of our ears, his last press conference, where he said, Denver and the Kings are the only teams with 46 or more wins the last 2 years. It's a great stat. It's a great number. But what's interesting about that is 48 wins 2 years ago gets them a 3 seed. 46 wins last year puts them in that play-in bubble, and they ultimately missed the playoffs. So I think that's a perfect synopsis of the West. I mean, I think the Kings were good 2 years ago, but 48 was significantly better at 3. And 46, they were good last year, not great. But 46 was them fighting all the way to get in. So I don't know. The number's probably going to live near there too. But are they going to be on the higher end where they're out of that, play-in bubble? Or are they going to be on that bottom end of that where it's like, man, they're 7, 8, 9, 10 and, battling for that play-in spot. So to be seen. And then the reality of all of this, we know this, Dave, and you want to outlaw injuries, but they're going to happen. Hopefully not to the Kings, but if a significant player gets hurt on another team that has higher win projected total, well, it's going to impact them. It just does every year. So that's the unknown that we won't be able to predict.
I'll tell you what, and going through these, by the way, I don't know a lot about this, but if I'm looking at a value bet, the San Antonio Spurs at 34.5 wins. I'm thinking strong. I'm thinking over on that one. That's really interesting to me. 34.5 wins for the San Antonio Spurs. Incidentally, the team that is expected to win the least amount of games, the New Jersey Nets at 19.5. And by the way, the Spurs won just 22 games last year, so that would represent a 13 game.
That's pretty big.
That is a pretty big thing. You're exactly right. Hey, now we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to what's a sport at some point. That's an evergreen topic, which is great. Jalen Brunson, though, signs his extension with the New York Knicks, and this one smells a little funny, even though I don't think any rules were broken. We'll talk about that right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorta's over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rocket into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, my son's teacher emailed his back to school list. He needs crayons and a comp book for every subject.
Okay, no problem. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school.
Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue.
You got it.
And markers?
Of course.
Oh, geez.
Can we get a card, please?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each at Staples. Ends 8/24, in-store only, limit 30.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Over the weekend, Jalen Brunson, who was right there in MVP voting this year, signed a 4-year extension, $156.5 million. It's almost $40 million a year. What a payday. Generationally wealthy. One of the highest paid athletes in the world. However, there's something else to this, and that is that he just did the biggest financial favor, perhaps in sports history, for the New York Knicks, because Jason, 4 years and $156.5 million is $113 million less than he could have received had he waited 1 year. Just a year.
Wow.
1 year, he would have been eligible for a max contract worth a projected $269.1 million. Now, some could argue it was it's the 1 year and you can get hurt. A lot of things could happen. One could argue he's doing it for the team so that they can keep his Villanova teammates and others playing. You also, again, you have his dad as a assistant coach and somebody who played for that team. Jalen Brunson's connections to the Knicks are incredibly deep. But it's also it's also you and again, we're getting into kind of the depths here of stuff. But it's also what Leon Rose has done. He became the GM. He hired Tom Thibodeau. And he was so intent on turning this team around. And he's done so. He set up this culture now where Mikal Bridges is reportedly going to take less than what he could. Julius Randle, who the hell knows, but that's value. DiVincenzo has 3 years left. there's a ton of stuff going on here, Jason, but the Knicks certainly seem like the place to be right now.
Yeah, and I think, there's a lot of I don't know if I go as far as like life lessons here, but maybe. I mean, look, when some people say, "Oh, what's the difference between that kind of money?" Well, that's a ton of money difference.
Yes.
But I also think, like, I don't know if this is a terrible analogy, Dave, but like if we go back to, what we all end up talking about too much, but the best of the Sacramento Kings, the early 2000s. And at that time, Chris Webber's getting paid well, Vlade, Doug, Page, all of them are getting paid very well. But I don't even think they remotely even think about that anymore. I think they think about the time they had together and how much fun they had together and how much what they were chasing, what goals they were going for, the last one that they couldn't accomplish. But I mean, I think there's something to be said about the happiness that Brunson has. Obviously, it seems like he loves playing in New York. New York loves him. He had some of his best individual accomplishments this year. And if all of what he's doing, his own sacrifice, he's still be getting paid well, but if all of his sacrifice helps his Villanova Knicks, right, stay together, the ability to add some more people, I mean, he may end up having the time of his life and it may end up in a championship. I mean, so if all of that happens, yes, he'll still be paid well. Yes, there'll be some other opportunities in New York for him, but I just, you can't totally buy happiness, but you can create some opportunities with that. And I think that's what he's trying to do here.
It's also important to understand where you say that this thing stinks, but only minor rules perhaps will be broken, and I'll get to that in a second, is to remember that Jalen Brunson's dad is Rick Brunson. And when Jalen Brunson was leaving the Mavericks, when he was negotiating, I use that term loosely, with Dallas, his dad was hired as an assistant coach weeks before Jalen signed with the Knicks. The team president of the Knicks, as we just mentioned, is Leon Rose, who is Jalen Brunson's godfather, and also was previously his agent. So this goes way, way, way back. And Mark Cuban, who at the time was part of the negotiations, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, said that everything was going fine. They had a relationship with his new, his other agents. Once Rose went and took over the Knicks, and obviously had to relinquish his clients. His agent was Aaron Mintz, and Cuban actually disclosed texts between Mintz and Nico Harrison, the GM of the Mavs, and things seemed to be humming along. And then all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson's dad took over. Quote from Cuban: there was no negotiation. They didn't give us a number. You think when you're the incumbent team and you can match anything, that's the way it works. You have a relationship with the agent. They want to at least give you a chance because you helped develop the player. You had him for 4 years. Let's work together. Now, remember also, as we unravel this thing, Rick Brunson previously worked with Tom Thibodeau in both Chicago and Minnesota, and he himself was previously a Leon Rose client during a 9-year playing career that had not one but 2 stops with the Knicks. Now, there was a tampering investigation that docked the Knicks a second-round pick for 2025, so I guess you can't say no rules were broken. But, Jason, what is the deterrent for the Knicks, for example? They got Jalen Brunson to sign with them as a free agent, and then a few years later, he takes the biggest discount in sports history. I got to think in retrospect, they were perfectly fine with effectively trading a second-round draft pick in 2025 for that.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the end result, what they got in the player, where the organization is going, the fit, how much New York basketball is back on the map. And then, the ability to get Bridges and DiVincenzo, Hart, what they've got already, if they keep Randall, it's just, they've got a lot of different avenues now to go as an organization, but a lot of it's based on that decision, the initial one to get Brunson, and now Brunson, opting to take less. I mean, we saw that a little bit, I think, with Malik's decision. Yep. I guess on the other side, as one of our YouTubers mentioned, Fox is on the other side, right? Could wait here. If he becomes an all-league player, he can make a lot more money. I would say more agents and players would say push to get as much as you can because it just keeps moving the ball forward for future generations. So this is a player taking another road, and that's I would say more unique than the latter.
And I've seen De'Aaron get some pushback on this. And everyone's entitled to their opinions as always. But I got to tell you, man, I can't push back on him at all. I think it's important to remember not only is he the longest tenured king, but he's been here for everything over the last 7-8 years. This is the guy that when the Kings were winning 23 games a year made that video saying, make your jokes. Now we're going to prove you wrong. He got married here. Has a kid and is about to have his second kid here in Sacramento. He has laid down all the roots. But Jason, going into next season, De'Aaron Fox, will he be in his 7th, 8th season, I want to say?
I think it's 8th.
I think it is too. And when his contract comes up, he'll have just this side of 10 years in Sacramento. Now, I'm as big a fanatic as anyone about the Sacramento Kings, but I they've done nothing to earn anyone's trust other than having a good couple of years. Like, we're more trusting. But if you're De'Aaron Fox and you're approaching your 10th year and you're handed a 4 or 5 year max extension, which is what he would get, you're basically looking at playing your entire career in Sacramento. And I don't blame the guy one bit for giving himself a chance at more money, but more importantly, probably wanting to assess where the team's at in a couple of years so he can decide if he wants to spend his entire career here or if he wants to go to a bigger and or better, meaning win-loss market, where he can be the final piece of a championship team. So far, the guy's played a grand total of 7 playoff games in his entire career, and they all came last year. I don't blame the guy one bit. In fact, as a Kings fan, I kind of appreciate the fact that he's keeping everybody on their toes, saying, and by the way, I'm not even saying he's doing this and it's that deep, but worst case scenario for many, if he's holding a gun figuratively to the front office saying, get it done or I'm gone, I'm good with that. He should.
Yeah. I mean, again, the majority of the league does that. And I think it's 2-part. One, if he does become an all-league player, that helps him, that helps the team this year, and it helps him financially. Number 2, if it doesn't go that well and maybe things start to sour, which none of us are hoping for, he has the option to look around. And I think every player, that's probably the bottom line, is what they want is options. He's got good options, really good options here. But I think he would be coveted too if for whatever reason things started to fall apart. So why wouldn't you want to leave all your avenues available?
Aaron brings up a good point in the chat as we take a break. Jalen Brunson will get a lot of internal crap from his peers for this deal. Now, if somebody doesn't take less on a max deal, it will be a talking point. You know what? That's actually not saying it's going to happen on a large scale. It's actually a pretty interesting point that he's doing a good thing for the franchise, but there's going to be other players that are like, thanks, dude. Great. You're awesome. Yeah. Rad. Making me look good. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Jason Ross, live from Las Vegas, sat down with Monty McNair, and perhaps, no, I'm not even going to say perhaps, the most extensive interview Monty McNair has done in a one-on-one setting this offseason. We'll get to that right after this.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Hey, are you someone that may need representation? You don't know when, you don't know why or how this may happen, but it does happen, and you want to be prepared. You want to know who you can trust, who you can call when you're in a situation of need like this. Now, what might it be for? Well, maybe there's something that's been hanging around with you for years. You were young. We're all young once, right? Maybe did something foolish that is still hanging around with you, but you'd like removed from your record because it's just still following you. Maybe it's keeping you from doing some things. Well, my guy at the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez does expungements. Maybe you had an auto accident. You got to figure out how to sort all those things out. Maybe that's a wrongful termination case. These things do happen, and you want to be prepared and ready and be able to contact someone in these cases of need. So here's what I suggest you do. Contact SacLegalDefense.com. The law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. The number is 916-304-9187. What's important, too, is that number is 916 right there in Sacramento. His office is in downtown. He's around downtown all the time. He's down on the river. He's one of us. He's in Sacramento, just had his third child, a beautiful daughter named Chloe. Like, he is a Sacramentan and wants to help our community and help you if you're in an area of need. So someone you can trust, someone that's here. Again, the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at saclegaldefense.com or 916-304-9187.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, go with Monty McNair, and Monty off seasons come and go. They're kind of different each time, but you've been busy. Let's kind of maybe go through the order. We'll go back to extending Mike Brown. That's a big part of what you guys want to do. How did all that go?
Yeah, no, I think once you get through the draft and free agency, people want to talk about the players, but let's not forget our coach. Really excited to bring Mike back. 94 wins the last 2 years, and what he's done for our organization. Awesome. We're so excited to extend him, and excited for what's next. What he will get this kind of combination of new and old players to do next season in a tough West, but him and his staff, they've done a great job. Obviously, credit to Jordy Fernandez, who Brooklyn decided to lead their group, which is a great sign for us. Obviously, we're bummed to lose somebody like Jordy, but it's just a great sign for the organization. People want to come and poach from us a little bit, but to retain Mike, the rest of the group, we're excited.
I heard you say that stat the other day that you and Denver are the only teams 46 wins or more. Which one is amazing? 2, it's a 3 seed and then a non-play. I mean, how crazy is the West?
The West is always crazy. I've said it. I think this is, I don't even know, 16, 17 years in now for me in the West between Houston and Sac. And we've seen it all. I think, us and Golden State last year win 46 and don't make it into the final 8 playoff teams, which is, I think, the 5th and 6th teams ever to do that. And, I think the year before, maybe we got a little fortunate that 48 wins got us the 3 seed. But then for 46 wins, a 2-win drop to drop you 6 spots. It just shows how deep it is. But I think for us, we took that as a challenge that, you might have to win 48, 50, 52 games to get into the playoffs in the West. So how do we improve? How do we get back and compete with those teams? Because once you get in the playoffs, I think we saw it last year. Dallas had a great run from the last third of the season into the playoffs, making the finals from, I guess, the 5 seed. And, so you get in the mix, you gotta a chip in a chair, as they say. We're here in Vegas, but give us a shot. So for us, we got to get it back into that mix. That was the goal.
All right, so you land coach. That's a big part. The next one was Malik. Fans wanted him. I'm sure you guys wanted him. We're hearing all these things. All these other teams potentially are seeking him, which is a great thing for him. How did it all come about? How did you convince him to come back to Sacramento?
Well, I think this goes back 2 years where credit to our staff because, Malik certainly didn't have maybe the most standard of beginnings to his career, but had started to show some flashes this last little bit in Charlotte and then with the Lakers. And a lot in our group saw big potential in Malik. And so we were able to get him into Sacramento, used our mid-level. Obviously he's had a previous relationship with Dier and they have a great synergy together, but I think surpassed certainly my expectations and had a great 2-year run. And so at that point it's like, all right, yeah, now how do we keep this guy? But I think this goes back to Coach Brown, goes back to De'Aaron and Domas, our 2 stars, and what they're able to kind of open up for Malik and then how he's able to fit in there. And, we certainly missed him down the stretch last season. But I think for him, and I'm sure he had many other suitors, but for him to look at our situation and say, I want to come back and be a part of what's next, huge testament to him and to our group. And, we're really excited to see what he can do. And, a couple new faces in there with him, but him and De'Aaron continue their 2-man game. Him and Domas, a fantastic 2-man game. Super excited to have him back.
I'm sure you've got to love that, though. I mean, from the top down and coaching you, everybody's trying to talk about culture, and he chose you guys. I mean, there were other options. So, I mean, just how rewarding is what you're doing, not just wins and losses, but it's keeping guys that want to stay here.
Yeah, we've certainly had, and I know we'll get into DeMar and him choosing to come to Sacramento, but we've also had, I think, a lot of successes of guys coming to Sac, and then we're able to, keep them, whether that's a contract extension or a new contract. And Malik's the latest one, fan favorite. Just a huge testament of what we're building, and I think it shows that players want to win. Yeah. And when you're winning, when there's the prospect of future winning, and I think we're set up well to compete. We'll see. We got to do it, but we're set up well to compete next year and in the future of the West. So I think that's really a testament to that.
Well, you mentioned DeMar. Let's get there. I mean, there's rumors about the team and all the different guys that you guys may have been pursuing, but it does end up being DeMar DeRozan. How did you guys kind of make this work? Why did he choose Sacramento?
Well, I think, a little bit of it just goes back to that we've been set up where we have the ability to go and recruit a free agent like that. We have the ability to it's a complicated transaction to sign and trade, but the ability to both get the signing part done and the trading part done. And so credit to our staff, ability to do that. But, ultimately this is a free agent who can go anywhere. And, we're kind of seeing the landscape, DeMar seeing his landscape, and we get a couple days into free agency and continue to talk. And, credit to Wes Wilcox, who does a fantastic job, working the phones, and our staff trying to figure out, okay, if DeMar may come, what does that mean? How do we set up the trade? And really working these 3 or 4 paths at once to try to get them to ultimately come together, which they somehow did right before Cal Classic game number 1. So, certainly not a grand strategy that we had for that timing, but it worked out great. And, he's just such a consummate professional, somebody who you look at his career, it's like, how has he done this for over a decade? And I think led the league in minutes per game last year, whatever it is, at his age, to show no signs of slowing down and continue to evolve his game, add the passing and playmaking and scoring at the line in the paint. In the mid-range, he's just, a complete player. And I think 6-time All-Star to choose Sacramento. I think it's because of what we're building here, and excited to bring him in.
I mean, all NBA as well, multiple times, Hall of Fame career, really. How do you see the fit with him here?
Well, I think the great thing about DeMar is, like I said, with the passing, with the scoring, with the ability to get to the line, he's going to fit in all sorts of lineups. And so whether that's with Sabonis, with Fox, with both of them, obviously Keegan and his ability to score inside and out, and then you got Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, Trey Lyles, you go on and on down the line. I think DeMar whether he needs to score or whether he needs to find others, he's going to do that. He's also shown the other end the ability to guard multiple positions, which is huge in today's NBA. So just another threat out there that teams have to account for. I mean, you're an opposing coach and you got to put somebody on De'Aaron, somebody on Domas. That's all-star, all NBA level talent. Now you got DeMar in there, and then you look up and somebody's gonna have to guard Keegan or Kevin or Malik, and it's it's gonna be hard to guard us. For us, we're gonna have to put that in, make sure we do the work, get the right shots, take care of the ball, and then at the other end continue to improve like we did last year on the defensive end. But he I think unlocks a lot of things for us and for Mike Jay on the offensive end.
Also, in the busy offseason, you have a draft. It's always an exciting time, too. Devin Carter comes in as a lottery pick. Unfortunately, he's injured here to start, but, there's still a bright future ahead for him. Kind of the thought process on drafting him and hopefully when you'll have him back.
Yeah, Devin, I think unique in that I think he can fit us when he comes back this year, but also somebody that we can see fitting whatever form we take 5, 6, 7 years in the future. And I think a little bit of what we've seen in the NBA now where these kind of do-it-all guards, wings. I mean, he's like 6'9", wingspan, and obviously his dad played in the NBA, so he knows what it's about. But I think that kind of versatility defensively and then offensively, he showed in college the ability to put the ball on the ground, go to the basket, shoot from outside. Really big improvement this year. We're bummed he's not playing here at Summer League and maybe for the start of the season, but when he does come back, I think he's going to make a big impact and just be a very good complement to what we're already building, and then hopefully continue to grow his game and sky's the limit for him.
I'm curious on the process for you and your front office, how fluid the path has to be. So let's go to draft night and you're 13. You may want to trade the pick. You may want to make the pick. Maybe your pick goes before you. Also to DeMar DeRozan, if you're interested in other players too. Like, how fluid do you have to be? Is it when the opportunity strikes, this is one of our plans, we go for it? Just kind of how is that process?
It's when you're in the moment, it's hard sometimes because you don't know what's to come. We have the draft. It's draft night. Now it's 2 nights. Then you got a few days. Then you got free agency. Trades obviously happen a lot at that time. And, really the DeMar DeRozan thing comes together on July 6th, which, that's only 10 or so days from the draft, but it feels like forever. And at the time at the draft, you have no idea what may come. And there was a bunch of things floating around. So you're really trying to make these decisions at the time. There's a bunch of different kind of, game theory thought here about there's a stopping problem. Like, okay, when is this the one versus roll the dice and see what's going forward? And, so we ended up having a lot of options at the draft, but when Devin fell, we were really excited to get him. And we said, well, let's see what's going to happen in free agency. And there we had some trade options and things, but as DeMar came into focus, the last few days of that became, I think, the thing that we thought, man, this really checks a lot of boxes for us. And, we still had to convince him. We had to set up the other trades, but, happy where it ended up, restless nights in the interim, trying to see where we were going to end up. We were happy with, I think our process there, but it's certainly tougher in the interim.
He seems happy. Was the convincing of DeMar a difficult task, or?
I think it's more just you're competing with, 20 other teams. Yeah. And, so we have to, I think, him coming to SAC and seeing what we're about and meeting with some of the coaches, some of the players, our front office staff, obviously ownership. Vivek was there. Fantastic. I think that he was able to see that and it was like, yeah, this is what I want to be a part of. So, at the same time, you got to be able to offer him a package that is commensurate with his ability and then put the trade together to be able to do that. But, fortunate all those things came together, but also credit to our group. That's a lot of planning so that you have the ability to do that. And then I think the convincing of DeMar came down to coach our players and seeing what we've already been building and seeing that we have room to grow.
Yeah. Couple other moves. I mean, it obviously costs you players that you've had relationships with. Harrison Barnes, one part of the DeRozan move, but Sasha and Davion, you get McDaniels there, and you've also added Jordan McLaughlin. How do those two guys help the Kings going forward?
Yeah, well, first, Harrison, Davion, Sasha, Chris Duarte, among others, just a huge part of what we've done last year and the year before, and in turning this thing around. So big thanks to them, and wish them the best going forward. But in getting Jalen McDaniels, a big, long wing, I think has a chance to be impactful on both ends of the floor. Something that, we're looking to do if we can get bigger, longer, two-way players. And then Jordan McLaughlin, really a fantastic few years in Minnesota last year in particular, as they kind of surge up the Western Conference standings. But for him to come in and certainly with Devin's injury, and I think just be a good fit, both behind and potentially next to De'Aaron with his shooting ability to defend, just run an offense. Bring back Alex Len on the other end of the roster at the big spot, who had a great year last year. He's really come into his own as finding his role and just being an awesome professional, whether he's playing or not. But we're going to need him to play even more and bring his rim protection and those things. So excited for what we've got there. Obviously, haven't even mentioned Keon Ellis and Colby Jones, two of our younger guys. Keon in particular played very well down the stretch when we had some injuries at the guard wing spot, and started in the play-in for us. Had an especially big game against Golden State and guarding Steph and hitting some big shots. So we know we'll need it all in the West, and there's you'll need your depth, and you'll need your kind of all the tools in your tool belt as you go in, of just different matchups each night. But I think we've got a lot of that, and we'll need guys to continue to improve internally, as well as hopefully some of the external growth that we've had.
A couple of final roster spots are left. Are there areas of need that you're looking at, more depth, maybe front court side, and what are kind of things you'd like to see addressed?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we're always looking to improve the team, and if opportunities arise, we'll certainly take advantage. I do think at this point we're expecting that this is probably the core of the group that we'll go into training camp with. But yeah, potentially one or two more roster spots. I think we're going to take our time a little bit and see there. Probably be more wing forward, big. We feel pretty good at the guard spot right now. So, we'll look. This is a big part of Summer League and seeing what our own guys can do. We got scouts scouting the other 29 teams here. Great opportunity for a lot of these, young players who are not even on a roster potentially to showcase themselves. And, our group's been watching the G League and International. So a lot of different ways that we can go, but, we'll take our time. We'll see what we got there. And, as we head into training camp, we'll fill those last couple spots. But, I think we're happy with the group as is. Again, if something comes up, we'll certainly look at it. But I think right now this is the bulk of the group we'll have, and a couple last spots that we'll fill right before training camp.
I'm thinking day one of training camp, you clear the court and let all the guards go out there. I mean, that competition, there's some minutes up for grabs, but there's a lot of guys that can play. I'd like to see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I think Keegan mentioned it last year, but guarding De'Aaron all summer is pretty good. Trial by fire, and we have a lot of guys. I think that they're going to go at each other, over the summer, and as we get into training camp, and obviously when Devin comes back, he'll add to that mix, and I mean that is one competitive, tough guy as well. But I think for De'Aaron too, like him going against Keon and Colby and some of these guys that can Keegan that can throw different looks at him, Malik and all the moves he has. So it's a good group. They push each other. We hope they'd make each other better, which they've done, and then we can go take it out on the other 14 teams in the West.
One last thought. How do you feel about like Keegan's experience playing with the select team was great, and Sabonis, I mean, you're probably wanting them to do well, but knock on wood, stay as healthy as possible. Just guys that get opportunities to keep playing. How do you kind of feel about that?
I think for the most part, the competition, the ability to play high level basketball in the summer is huge. So Keegan was select, and both Trey and Domas with their national teams. I mean, yeah, of course we want our guys to come to camp healthy, but we want them to be in great shape. We want to be in, great competitive shape, and playing high level basketball there's no replacement for it. So bummer for Domas and Lithuania. They fell one game short, but was great for him. Trey, be excited to see him in the Olympics. Keegan, going up against some of the best in the world and going toe to toe. It's just an incredible experience and growth opportunity for those guys. And, frankly, that's what's going to be every night in the West. And so we're going to need every bit of experience there. I think one last thing on that is sometimes those provide opportunities for guys to maybe be out of their comfort zone, do something a little bit different, expand their game in some way. And, I think we saw that a little bit with Keegan in Summer League last year. Hey, go be the scorer, go guard the best guy. And, he was able to do more of that last year. And so we're excited to see, what he's got in store for us. I think we know Domas and De'Aaron, what they're going to do and be in the mix for all NBA, all-star accolades, obviously DeMar and what he's done. And, the more internal growth we can get, and I think we've got guys that can continue to do that. That's what we're going to need to continue to go up against these behemoths in the West.
All right. One last thing here is the question Dave and I probably get the most, which you're not going to believe. Is Monty trading for this guy or picking this guy? How is he wearing a vest when it's 113? We get that a lot. Do you get that at all?
I do. It's first of all, I'm inside. There's air conditioning.
Yeah.
All right. And sometimes it's actually quite cold in our offices.
But from the house to the car, no?
Sometimes I actually, believe it or not, take it off, put it in the car, put it on when I get inside.
You don't have it on here now, which is good.
And Miguel Lopez, our COVID manager, he's got some lightweight vests this year, a little lighter. But look, they're comfortable, okay? And they got great pockets for all the stuff you got to bring to the gym. And it's I agree. If I was going to sit outside for 4 hours in the 120 degree weather, that would be a little excessive. Yeah. For the most part, we're inside. And, it's a little cooler in there, but I appreciate the fans taking notice. And, I've seen some funny Twitter memes on it. So it's always good to see the fun had.
I'm sure there's a Monty Vest account. I don't know, but I bet there is. You got to believe there is. Our fans. I'm sure there is.
Our fans, they're doing something.
Yeah,
they're doing something. Sure. I think it was last year in Las Vegas, actually. I posted a picture from Caesars, and somebody put a vest on the statue there as a joke. So that was pretty funny. That's probably the best one I've seen.
All right, Monty, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jason.
That's Monty McNair. Hey, and it was a great interview. And then at the end, it was a stunning admission from Monty McNair, what we were all looking for. What the heck is going on with the vest in this heat? I think he's hiding something, Jason.
You think so? I mean, I told him the idea off air. I go, look, Monty, this is, Dave's brought this up. I want to give him credit for this. Team store, Monty vest, let's start the line because, I thought it was even funny. He's like, well, look, some of these are more sleek and lighter weight. I'm like, it's a vest in Sacramento in the summer. I mean, wintertime, that's cool. I actually think it looks good. I really like the look, but when we're all wearing T-shirts or golf shirts or whatever, and he's donning the vest with long sleeves underneath, it's like, man, I mean, yeah, you might be inside in the freezing cold air conditioning, but at some point you're outside, some point you're in your car, some point you're walking to the garage or something. But it's a good look for him. He's all in on it. I'll admit that.
Well, I'll say this publicly, and we'll definitely communicate this to the Kings. We're always, as their partner, we're always looking to help them out in any way we can. So one of two things is going to happen. Either they need to make the money and come out with the Monty line of vests. And by the way, working with a club over in England that's far smaller than the Sacramento Kings, and as I wear their new road jersey as we speak, I know how these things work a little bit better now. You just call the manufacturer and say, hey, I'd like a test run. Give me 5 or 10 in each size, and let's see how these things run. It's a minor investment. You put them in the team store, you announce it on social media, and profit. So, do that, and we'll go buy a couple, and you'll see the two of us doing our shows and invest from time to time, or three of us.
I think we could even do a better pre-order. We don't even have to do the test.
Just pre-order.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Would you like a Monty vest?
Great point. Get all the pre-orders in so they're already done and paid for. Or B, my mom's health hasn't been great, as everyone knows, but she knows her way around a sewing machine. I'll go get a couple of vests and a couple of Kings patches, and we'll mock some up ourselves and make them. Does that work? Can radio stations sell merchandise? I don't know. Is that a thing?
Of course we can.
I know you've been trying for that, Dave. Like a week or so. For about a week or two, you've been on it.
I want to come back and talk about this a little bit more. Oh, we got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Number one, I noticed, because you're a good guy, you very deftly sidestepped the Drew Timmy question. And I get it. Part of me wanted you to ask just because, well, what did he say? But on the other hand, I think that that's a real big feud going on right now between the two of us, and you didn't want to infringe on his generous time that he was giving you by bringing up something that's obviously it's a sore subject.
Yeah, I did stay away from it. I did think about it, but there were a lot of talking points to hit. I'm glad we kind of went one by one through the off-season moves, and he kind of addressed them all. I mean, I don't know what your takeaway was, but one for me, like, obviously they set their targets. I've always been, and you and I have talked about, just fascinated with the process of it and how you have to move in real time. And I could tell there was kind of something there of, I do think they had a lot of different plans. And then when one starts to take shape, you kind of go down that road. I think that's what happened with DeRozan, certainly with the draft of Carter. But it could have gone other ways. And so I think that's interesting. And then he started getting to the game theory, like, hey, look, there's game theory arguments, like when do you roll the dice and go all in, and just interesting there. And then I think the other one, Dave, was the takeaway that I kind of teased earlier, but I think he said, as of now, it sure feels like this is the roster. I feel like he feels higher on Herter than maybe a lot of people out there. Like, he's going to be in the mix. And so unless something changes, there might be some fringe depth added, but other than that, I think he feels good about what they've got, but doesn't mean that can't change before the season or certainly during the season.
And let's run with that logic, and we'll switch this over into the next segment and continue it as well. We've talked about this before, which is they don't have to be done. Let's acknowledge one thing. If you trade Kevin Herter right now, it's about as low as his value can possibly be. So for all we know, well, I mean, we do know this. They're obviously watching Kevin Herter like a hawk. They've got people in his workouts. They're in constant communication with him. Well, what if they're looking at Herter, for example, and they're saying, we're not selling him this low unless somebody's going to overpay at current value. This dude's value is far higher. Number one, combined with, hey, we just added a big piece in DeRozan. Everybody's healthy right now. Knock on wood. Malik's back, blah, blah, blah. Let's not handcuff ourselves, because, and those of you listening right now will remember us talking about this the last couple of weeks. They don't know what the needs are necessarily going to be that present themselves in real game time fashion by plugging in a 24-point-a-game scorer in DeMar DeRozan, and those needs may not be what we're forecasting them. So why handcuff yourself now before you've test-driven this new engine in the vehicle, rather than take it out, run it around, and now you still have assets either during the first part of the season or come the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, there's choices, right? And I think, we're going to look at this, Dave, and say, people are going to have their opinions on every player right now, and that's true. But you also could, like, it just depends on how you look at the player. Like, Kevin Herter did not have a great season. He would admit that last year. But his first 3 quarters of his first season was tremendous. And if you look at what they're trying to do and motion, and, as a cutter, he's great. As a shooter, he could be awesome. Can he get that form again? How will it all look? We all look at it now and go, well, I got some questions defensively, maybe some size. Will that show up as big of an issue as the season goes on? We got to see them play a little bit, and I think maybe that's what the front office wants to see too.
Still to come in the program, Jason live in Vegas. He sat down with our friend Doug Christie. We'll play that at the 9 a.m. Keon Ellis as well. We'll do those back-to-back at 9 and 9:13. When we come back, though, maybe the biggest news in all of sports, the Emirates NBA Cup pools have been announced. Where are the Kings? What does it mean? We'll break that down top to bottom. And also, I have one more question about this interview you did with Monty, and it has to do with the environment. No, I'm not talking about trees and bushes. I'm talking about the location. We'll get to all that with Jason Ross and Christopher Ladd next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt Power Tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duck wash and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dirks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, I love you just the way Dasha, Kelsey Hart and more, plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Reuter and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
The last time Jason and or I believe, did a remote show from a hotel was when the Kings clinched the playoffs in Portland a year before last, and we found out moments before one of the most important shows of our careers that the hotel just wasn't cooperating in letting us on. Well, for 2.5 hours, Jason's hotel, the Aria Las Vegas, has very much been cooperating, but that cooperation ended during the break, didn't it? Joining us by phone, Jason Ross.
Yeah, in room 1140, for those that want to come by, it's, man, I don't know what happened. So Chris, I told Chris, I called her in the last break, and I said, for like your last comment just really cut out, but I could still see the video, and then I froze. And so he's like, why don't you restart your computer? I'm like, yeah, that's easy. I am stuck on working on updates, 30% complete. Don't turn off your computer for the entirety of that commercial break. And it's still going. So I'm sure it'll kick in at some point, but it is yet to kick in here in room 1140, by the way.
Did I hear you say kick it? Okay.
Yeah. Let's kick it.
Sean Salisbury style. Let me
should I do like you in Portland and take it to the streets of Vegas?
Where you literally burst into a flame.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. I want to clean up a couple of things. Earl is in the chat. I've learned with Earl. I love Earl. Earl is the oldest, youngest guy I've ever known. Earl says, right now, Kevin Huerter is an injured fringe starter to the NBA at large. They almost have to get rid of him now. I'm like, honestly, usually when I see a comment like that, I go, well, let me put myself in their shoes. What is the logic in what the person's trying to say? Saying right now to the rest of the NBA, Kevin Huerter's value is next to nothing. They almost have to get rid of him now, which, unless I'm missing something here, completely flies in the face of the logic of if they think that he's back in health. Let me just present a scenario. Kevin Huerter, shortly before the three-point contest, a little under 2 years ago, injured his shoulder. And that shoulder was hurting him at the contest, but not enough to get surgery on. He thought maybe he'd rest it in the summer. And it came back, and it hurt him quite a bit throughout the season. And eventually he completely injured the whole thing, thus warranting surgery. And now that he is back and seemingly 100%, they've been following his workouts. They've been following his progress. And what do you know? It looks like the old Kevin Huerter. So logic might just dictate, hey, we'll dangle him out there perhaps with a pick and see what we can get. But if we're not getting anything other than bargain basement, we'll do you a favor and take him type of offers. We'd rather just test our luck, get him back, and either three things are going to happen. Number one, he's going to suck and his value will remain the same. Number two, he's going to be back to the old Kevin Huerter, and guy, we kind of want him on the team. Or number three, he's pretty much back to the old Kevin Huerter, but his value just goes up a little bit. I feel like holding on to him is not the worst option, but is a better option than selling him at base value for peanuts.
Yeah, and I also don't know if it's true, Dave, that are you hearing an echo or is that me?
Nope, just you.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if that's a situation where he is rumored, before with the draft pick to maybe acquire someone like whether it was Kuzma or someone else, if that was truly a rumor. Well, now the draft pick has a name attached to it, is Devin Carter, and not that you couldn't trade Devin Carter as well, but maybe the Kings now aren't as interested, or maybe other teams aren't either if he is truly injured. So I think things change as well, and then now it's a situation of, hey, he still can be an asset. His contract is still friendly if he does play, like you suggested, in one of those scenarios where he goes and plays well. He would either, one, increase his value, or two, help the team. So, yeah, you don't have to do something just to do it, but I do think it's going to be a really difficult situation. Let's just say everybody is on their game, and we're talking Fox. We got to put DeRozan in the guard group. Monk, Keon, Carter, McLaughlin, Herter. I mean, some guys won't play. Maybe that's easier to say who won't while Carter is out, sure. But, I mean, that's a lot of competition for minutes. And I still think, by and large, they're going to play smaller, too. So maybe 3 guards are in at times. So, I mean, there will be some minutes out there. It's just going to be juggling in a battle for it.
Couple of rando things. Well said, Jason Ross. NFL is around the corner. We are we're actually just a couple weeks away from training camps opening. I have a list in front of me, Jason. It's kind of interesting when it's put like this, of team accomplishments over the last 15 years. There are 2 teams. I'm going to have some fun with Jason Ross and Christopher Laud knowledge here. There are 2 teams that have won multiple Super Bowls in the last 15 years, and I imagine that's fairly easy to name, the Chiefs and the New England Patriots. There are 3, 6, 9. There are 11 teams that have won a Super Bowl. Obviously, the Chiefs and Patriots, but also in the last. God, the Saints Super Bowl was less than 15 years ago. God, the Saints Super Bowl seems like it was 20 years ago. But the Saints, the Packers, the Giants, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Bucks, and the Rams. Now there are 6 teams that have won at least one conference championship, but have not won a Super Bowl, much less 2. And that's the Niners, the Colts, the Steelers, the Panthers. God, I forgot the Panthers won a conference championship. The Falcons and the Bengals. Over the last 15 years, here's the trivia for you guys. There are 3 teams in the NFL that have not won multiple or single Super Bowls, have not won a conference championship, have not won a playoff game, a divisional playoff game, a wild card game. They have literally have nothing, no wins, no accomplishments in the playoffs for the last 15 years. There's 3 teams. Can you guys name them?
I can, because I was planning on using this for Friday Fun and Games.
Oh, no. Well, you still can. I'll just have a leg up. All right. The Raiders.
Will you remember?
Yeah, the Raiders, that goes without saying, of course. But the 2 others. The 2 others have not won a thing last 15 years.
Cardinals?
The Cardinals have actually won a divisional playoff game in the last 15 years. One of them, when you say it'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. The other one kind of surprised me a little bit, but it probably shouldn't have.
15 years. Wait, let me go back. No, they were in the Super Bowl.
Totally putting you on the spot. I get it. Let me know.
Bears?
The Bears have won a divisional playoff game. By the way, I would have guessed the Bears.
Okay.
As Jason Ross's computer just
Yeah. Did I check back in?
The 3 teams. Well, I'll tell you this much. The 2 remaining, one is AFC, one is NFC.
All right. I'm going to need help.
Okay. The AFC team played a pivotal role in one of the greatest comedies of all time.
The Dolphins?
The Dolphins is one.
Laces out, Dan.
That's a hell of a clue and a hell of a
I'm like, where are you going with this?
Hey, he set me up. I got it.
You got it.
The other team. other than Donald Sterling, might be the worst owned team of the last 20 years. Though that person is no longer at the helm. I think Jason's switching, isn't he?
Oh, there.
There we go. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Did you get the last one?
Yeah, it didn't help me.
No, although we have an echo now.
You can turn your phone off.
The NFC team that has no playoff wins in the last 15 years was arguably the worst owner in sports post Donald Sterling. Not helping?
No. And he looks like
nope, there he is. All right, last clue. The owner of that team's name rhymes with Flaniel Schleider.
Their team has changed names several times.
Need a few more hints, guys.
The funny thing is you got the Ace Ventura reference. The Miami Dolphins, the Washington Commanders, and the Las Vegas, formerly Oakland Raiders, are the three teams over the last 15 years that have none of those. Honestly, the Dolphins kind of surprised me, but then they shouldn't have. The Dolphins sucked, and then they've been relevant. I feel like they're, well, I'm not saying anything, whatever. You feel like the Dolphin streak's going to end here very soon.
Yeah, because they've been good the last couple of years, just haven't broken through with playoff wins. Yeah.
By the way, Frank says it's the Jets. Get a better trivia question. It's weak like you are. Well, I would say, Frank, first off, weak is not spelled W-E-E-K in that environment. Secondly, the Jets have won a divisional playoff game. So, Frank, what a giant L for that guy. We'll take a break while Frank shakes off his loss. When we come back, I still want to ask you that Monty question. We also got to do who's hot, who's not. Let's go streaking, and Chris is going to come up with a better Friday Fun and Games topic since I just stole his. We're back in the couple right here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh, my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. This summer, get out there and explore California in a brand new Toyota truck. Answer the call to adventure with powerful performance and Toyota's legendary reliability. Don't miss a low lease on the fully redesigned 2024 Tacoma or low 1.99% APR on 2024 Tundra and Tundra Hybrid. It's time to make this summer one to remember. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes TRD Pro and Capstone at 7/31/24.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And, of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And, as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Poor Frank's getting dumped on it. Frank, take a lap. Walk it off, buddy. We've all been there. Who's hot?
Rodrigo Hernandez Casacante.
And by the way, wait, who?
Huh? Rodrigo Hernandez Casacante.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that Kyle in there? We've got a text to win contest that is pretty gall-dinged cool. I know this because I've experienced this prize, though I pay for it, that we have for you guys coming up at 9 a.m., 13 minutes. We'll let you know what, where, who, when, and why, and your chance to win. Like we say, we will bribe you to listen. Nothing's beneath us. All right, so who's hot again?
Rodrigo Hernandez Casacante. I can see why you're confused because you probably know him better as Rodri. Since 2023, he has won 2 Premier Leagues, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, UEFA Nations League, and the Euros just yesterday. Since 2023, he has also had more trophies, 8, than losses for club and country, 4. He also has gone 475 days and counting without losing for Spain.
Rodri. Not one of the better one-word nicknames out there, but still, I always respect it. I still think, well, look, the best one ever is what? It's Kaká, isn't it? Probably.
Oh, you like that?
Oh, come on. The first time I ever watched that, and I'm watching the game. My son's next to me. That's probably why it's funny. I think he was like 5, 6, and we're watching the game, and all of a sudden Mason goes, "Kaka, what kind of a name is that?" And then we hear the announcer go, "Kaka." I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. Also, honorable mention, Fred. It's simple, it's easy. It's Fred.
It's probably a good thing Kaká and Messi never got together.
Well, I do not have any. Never mind. I just hit me. I thought it was some deep soccer knowledge. It, in fact, was not. Who's not?
The Chicago White Sox. The White Sox were swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday. That was the 13th time this season they have been swept, and that ties the 2018 Orioles for the most time swept by a team prior to the All-Star break.
Oh, golly. Jason, your thoughts?
Woof. I feel like that's messy caca.
You're only saying that because you're out of state, dude.
I am. There's different rules in Vegas.
30 years with us, Jason Ross, as you can hear, and all the stuff. By the way, Jason came back after the show. He ran back up and got his celebratory. We didn't talk about that. He got his celebratory donuts, and our lovely and talented PD Jose had run up the stairs. He had a nice framed certificate for you, some donuts and all that. You had just taken off. It was really a sad situation, but ever the team player, you ran back upstairs, probably because you forgot something, but you ran back upstairs, grabbed the celebratory donut, the framed thing, which is probably on your mantle as we speak.
And I got a walking standing ovation from you.
I did, Chris. I don't think you were there. I clapped for Jason like as loud as I could, and I followed him all the way down the hall, back and to his office, and just like at first it was like, oh, okay, and then it was kind of funny, but then like after the first 30 seconds of it, I think it was actually kind of uncomfortable for Jason.
I didn't like that call. Not a very good call.
Were there like ups and downs of it, like there are with standing ovation?
No. This was a full.
No, but like with I'm trying to think of the word, like the energy, like the
No, the energy was at 1,000% the entire way. We turned it up to 11. By we, I mean literally just me following him around. And
if I'm not mistaken, Dave, I think you had a donut in your mouth.
Right. There I am, my big fat ass with a donut in his mouth, giving Jason a standing O while he's.
I mean, I could just set this donut down, but
no,
the clap.
Yeah, plus somebody else will get it. One other thing I wanted to ask you about the Monty interview.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it? It was you were. I can tell tales out of school, can't I?
I guess so. Sure.
Yeah, you were up in his palatial apartment, if you will. At the he was nice enough to welcome you into his abode.
Yeah, he stays in suite 1141, which is weird. But yeah, I went to his room at different levels of room. Look, the Aria is absolutely fantastic, but they're at a different hotel. I won't reveal that hotel, but it's great. View of, I could see my house from there. And just, one of those things where, I mean, it felt like a house, literally, Dave. Like there was like an entryway and couches and seats, and it was a suite, right? It was great. And he was fantastic with his time. I thought he was really comfortable, relaxed. That's the beauty of Summer League, just the people watching, the people you see just randomly anywhere, everywhere. It's just a really comfortable atmosphere. And I've said it before, for fans that love basketball, just being around out here, you can't help but run into people. And that's one of the great things. But yeah, Monty was great with his time. His room, his suite was great. And we had a good time. I was wearing my, and I've worn it to the station. I was wearing my Stay Classy San Diego Channel 4 shirt. And he must have made a comment about it like 3 times. He loved it.
Love it. Maybe we combine that with a vest.
Yeah. Oh man, the vest version of that. And then actually, he brought up like this. What you would have been still talking to him. He said, he loves Anchorman. He said, and I said, how about Anchorman 2? And he goes, some have said that's the best comedy sequel, but I don't know. And he goes, my friends and I debate. And then he offered up, the third Austin Powers, and we started to go on like comedy sequels. I'm like, oh man, this should have been on air.
Anybody throw Ace Ventura 2 in there?
No, but I think he meant,
who is calling Anchorman 2 the best sequel?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. It was fine.
Yeah, I think it starts out great, and then it just
the start of the movie might be the hardest I've laughed at.
That's really good, and then it just kind of tapers off. But I think we mentioned the Hangovers, 3, maybe more than, or 2 and 3, but the first one was just so good. But it just felt like this needs to be on air with Dave and I as well.
Hold on, we're getting a call.
Who's calling in?
Oh, I've not heard from this person in a while. Welcome in, Naked Gun 33 and a half.
33 and a third.
33 and a third. No, yeah, thank you. Oh, you don't want to come on the air. Okay. All right. Yeah. I will not call you Shirley. That's not even from your movie. Okay, bye. Yeah, Naked Gun 33 and a third on online too.
Where's Caddyshack 2 and not even on hold?
Electric Boogaloo, not even on hold. So yeah, I would say Naked Gun.
I would say Horrible Bosses 2.
Yeah,
it's a solid.
Top Gun.
Mm-hmm. Top Gun's a comedy.
Yeah, it's not.
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2. Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, Godfather 3. You could make the argument. Let's go streaking, shall we, guys?
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
That Zebra just used the word Enneagram on the chat, which I believe, is that a form of social media? We're going to have to look that up. I hope that's not a bad word. Because I like to think I have a decent vocab. I've never heard Enneagram in my life. And that is today's official new word of the day.
That looks like a typo.
Well, now it's being corrected as ENN. So it looks like she might have misspelled it.
Well, either way, it doesn't look right.
No. The Enneagram of personality, or simply the Enneagram, is a model of the human psyche, which is principally understood and taught as a typology of 9 interconnected personality types. Well, yeah, you're an Enneagram there, Zeebs. Boom. Got her.
Almost got me on a spit take.
Let's go streaking, please.
That'd be like $8 of water.
Oh, I would pick all of it up.
Who's doing what there, Guy?
All right, Guy. Dave, you were at 0. I was at 2. Chris is at 0 going into the All-Star break. Let's see how we did. Dave, you went with the guy who's in the home run derby. He's a stud for the Orioles, Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
4 plate appearances on Friday against the Yankees. And he got a hit. You're at 1.
Hey! Boom! Leading the league going into the All-Star break. Hey, by the way, have we decided this yet? Are we picking All-Stars?
Oh, I don't know. We could pick home run derby winners.
No way. That's going to end my streak.
Oh, okay.
How about if I pick what if you pick a guy in the home run derby and if they get a home run, your streak continues?
Wouldn't that be amazing if someone got shut out?
It would be me. It would 100% be me. It'd be like Shohei Ohtani had 0 home runs in the first round, but somehow got godfathered into the second round and hit 39 in that round. But unfortunately, boo, streak is over.
Yeah, wouldn't count. Great pitching, though. So, Dave, you're at 1. I was at 2, trying to get to 3. I took Carlos Correa of the Twins going against the Giants on Friday. 5 plate appearances. He got 1 hit. So I'm at 3. And Chris was at 0, trying to get to 1. He went with Jonathan India of the Reds. He got 4 plate appearances, and he got a hit. So, the next part of the season, Dave at 1, Chris at 1, and me at 3.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at us. Hey, guys.
Hey, look at us.
We all got it. Who'd have thought?
Not me.
No, not me. We all got a hit going into the All-Star break. We have to go? Why? Because we're 3 minutes over? Okay. We'll take a break. When we come back, Douglas Dale Christie joined Jason Ross down in Las Vegas. We'll also let you know what you're texting to win and when to do that. So you don't want to go away. Final hour of the program next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Guess what? It's officially summer. Yeah. This just in. Nothing shines brighter than your car when you wash a Quick Quack car wash, as myself and my wife do. And now through July 31st, you get 25% off any single wash during their summertime savings event. Visit your nearest Quick Quack today to save. Now, how about a 30-day Quick Quack membership on us and on Quick Quack? Our text line is 916-339-1140. That's 916-339-1140. And the password is Slamson. Yep, that's right. Text Slamson. I think that's how it's pronounced. Either that or S. Lamson. Slamson to 916-339-1140. You want to talk to Slamson, and that could get you a 30-day membership to our good friends at Quick Quack. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit SacktownSports.com. All right, Jason Ross down in Vegas, working hard. Can't wait to see what he comes up with for tomorrow. Hopefully it's at least 3.5 hours of interviews, as it will be myself and Chris Verla. But he had a chance to sit down with Keon Ellis. We'll have that in about 10 minutes. Right now, it is our good friend, Doug Christie, joining Jason Ross.
Head coach Doug Christie. I know you like the sound of that, don't you?
It's an interesting one. Just as long as you get the Doug Christie part right, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm watching you on Friday's game. Not the best game. We don't have to fully evaluate that game. But as a player, I watched you. Mistakes happen, but you guys are, I don't know if you're just smart. You just move on to the next. There's stuff, it looks like it's eating you, a mistake. How come you can't get that as what's the difference as a player, as a coach for you?
That's an interesting.
If I made my sense there on that.
No, you totally did. It's an interesting question because I think there's a level of responsibility as a coach that it might not even be. That might not even be the right way to say it. It might be. I have to think on this one. That's a good question, man.
Because it does look like it wears on you as opposed to, okay, you turn it over as a player. You're like, on to the next. I'm moving on.
I'll say it this way. I have to establish who I am and what I'm going to tolerate. And that is unacceptable because that is mental and energy based. And I'm not down with that. Now, there are points that I told them I need to be better for you. But when it comes to energy, I can't help you with that one. You got to help yourself. All the rest of it, if you're playing with the right energy and stuff. So the mistakes, like 31 turnovers, like the cousins of the poor game. You're not winning that one with 31 turnovers. And some of them are like fast break, off your foot. And I will say this, I'll give the guys credit. The balls that we played with were like these sticky, almost rubber synthetic leather balls. Like, I guess they made a mistake. And because our balls are leather. Okay. So we'll see. Hopefully they switch that up. So, yeah, listen, no excuses. We have to be better. I have to be better for them. And, going forward, make sure that the way I want them to play, they have to be well rested. So I'm not going to kill them. It's more mental practices right now and execution and high level understanding of what happens when you see this. Yeah.
How about the challenge, whether you had 5 players with you in California Classic or here in Vegas, or 2 split squads and 25? How's that challenge for you when you've got just a lot of different people shuffling in and out?
Yeah, it's tough because there's a lot of different voices. Which now as a head coach, I understand that that's not a good thing. I would say it's a lot of shuffling around. Like I don't know if this was the first time that's ever been done, but it was a tough one, you know. And like if we had split into two teams and I just kept the team in Sacramento, it probably would have been a lot easier because I hadn't seen that team that showed up yesterday. So I was really stunned. Like Memphis hit me as hard as they hit the guys. So that's a big deal. It's like everything's moving around. It's a lot of different voices. You got one coach talking to him in San Francisco. I'm talking to him in Sacramento. Then they leave, and the team he had comes to me. They played fantastic. You know, that was their A team. This was our second team, and they played at a really, really high level for me. So no complaints at all. But getting them all back together and then continuing to implement stuff. So you got all these different things, and they're not excuses. And like I told them, it's like, look, guys, the way you feel right now, this is how an NBA player feels. But the guy across from him is like the best player in the world. Figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking back to when you're at Pepperdine, when you're in the NBA, playing for Adelman, playing for all the different guys, coaching now in the league as a head coach for a few games with Mike Brown too. Like, whose voices do you hear when you're in a practice, when you're in a huddle, when you're film session? Like who are you channeling? Or is there one?
Yeah, it's a weird combination. It's Pat Riley, Adelman, Coachy.
Oh,
wow.
That's a good list.
That is it's a great list, but it's also like polars in a lot of ways, because there is a fiery side to me that is Pat Riley. There's a discipline side that is Pat Riley. There's a teaching side that is Coachy, and there is a continuity and togetherness that is Adelman, and try to bring all that together. Like I explained to them, like what I'm saying and the way I'm coming across, it's from love. Understand that, and I don't want to turn them off totally. I have to figure out the fine line of using bullets at certain times to get a point across, and then at other times backing up and trying to let them learn on their own. And that's the hard part, because as an ex-player, there's certain things that I see out there that I'm like, I mean, you should have that,
right.
But not everybody does, and you gotta understand that.
How much, I mean, for Kings fans, they really want to see Devin Carter, not out of your control, out of his control. How much does that hurt you? Want to see what he can do.
Well, if you tune in, you see him. I mean, usually has a really nice hat on, good hair.
Really good hair.
Yeah. He's in a sling right now.
You'd love to have him.
Oh my God, man! Like he is. I love my dogs, and he is definitely one. I don't know when that's going to be, but from the standpoint that it's good to have a player like that, and you know that once he gets right, he's going to bring everything that he has. I'm with it.
I know you're engrossed in this and you're working every day on these guys, but adding Tamar, what you got coming back, how excited are you for the upcoming year?
I am. A lot of times everything is on paper, and it takes me to our team. Like, Dick Vitale used to always say, like, the all airport team and all these, right? So like you would see us walking and you'd be like, whatever. Yeah. But then once we get the ball, it's like, whoa, hold on, what happened? And that's what I want to see with us. Like, looking at the names and everything is one thing, but when they hit the floor together, what is the sacrifice and the continuity and all that stuff? That's the exciting part for me, and I'm thinking it's probably the exciting part for Kings fans as well.
I know you've wanted to do this. Has it been what you wanted to do, or what you thought coaching would be?
Not sleeping, stressing, lots of coffee, lots
That's
of
in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, I'm really having a good time. I am. I'm as much as you might see that is as much as I feel the pride to try to be the leader of men and send them out there. This is the pookity.
You can't let the secret out. That's how hard you worked on the show, nonstop, endless hours, video, all that stuff.
Oddly enough,
you did
from radio, when I was doing pre and post in my son's closet, to pregame, to radio with you, to it. Like, I've just kind of taken the same approach every time. It's like over prepare, and it makes me comfortable.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I feel like poop. Yeah. So I have to do it. It's like I got the OCD, DAA, ABDs, ABCs, all the alphabets. Yeah.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my superhydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. How is it visiting with Doug, Jason?
I love Doug. I always have. It was funny because I brought it up at the beginning of the interview. So the game the other night was not good, and he did a classic Mike Brown timeout. I think it was, turnover right away, bucket 2-0, timeout. I mean, 14 seconds, 16, whatever it was, 20 seconds into the game, and I wasn't far from the bench. Cox Pavilion's the smaller of the two gyms here. And let's just say Doug, very, very colorful language. Like, he laid into them. I was like, whoa, I had not seen that side of Doug as a coach. And I'm sure that's happened. But, where we sit for the radio games, we're up high. And
you've only seen that from Doug when he's mad at me.
Yeah, I've seen it there. But the whole gym could hear him. So, that was interesting to kind of get his perspective on that. And, he just wants to be great at this. Obviously Mike Brown's the head coach, but Doug's, trying to coach. He just does things a little bit differently too. And I respect that. And, he's just trying to do the best he can with what the guys they've got right now. And I just know all these plays and mistakes eat at him. And it's just different. That was kind of what I brought up with him. It's different than when you're a player, you just got to go on to the next. You turn it over, you miss a shot. Okay, on to the next. But coaches just kind of hang on to all that stuff. And I could see that's hanging on with Doug right now.
Did he have any other, anything interesting off air? Maybe a conversation with him? Did he have any, thoughts you'd like to share?
Oh, you know what? He did have a special message for you that I could play for you later. Because he knew that it was going to be on today, and he's like, "Oh, make sure you tell Dave this." So that one will be an off-air one for you.
It's an off-air comment.
Appreciate it. It's very nice.
Sure, I will.
Yeah.
Doug's great. We love Doug. We root for Doug, and I'm very excited for him to be a head coach someday, which is just a mortal lock. And I just don't want it to be for another team. I would like Doug to rise to lead assistant level under Mike Brown. And then eventually when Mike retires after a long and championship-laden tenure with the Sacramento Kings, for him to hand it to Doug as if Doug were the crown prince of the kingdom and let Doug take us to another 6 titles. And I would like his coaching staff to be Chris Webber, Peja, Mike Bibby, and Hito Turkoglu.
And you.
Oh, well, I don't want that pressure, because then if we lose, it's my fault.
Oh, the Jinx guy.
The Jinx guy. You're not done, though. You had another conversation as well. This one's a little bit shorter. I believe you told me last night a walk and talk.
It was after practice. It was brief. You had a few minutes. I had a few minutes with Keon Ellis, which is interesting because now, Dave, this is, I think, my third straight year here that I've had a chance to talk to him. And it's like the evolution of his career. Like the first time it was, hey, here's a guy that's, just trying to make the team, to last year. It's like he's going to be kind of involved, but we're not sure how much, probably more Stockton. To now, it's like, some are saying maybe Keon starts. We don't know, but I mean, he played and started in the play-in games, did a great job on Curry. And I mean, he had a big second half of the season. So it's a different role for him right now.
Keon Ellis joined Jason Ross yesterday. Here he is.
So here in Vegas again with Keon Ellis. Keon, I've kind of marveled at your role, how you've gone from trying to make it to the league, trying to get noticed. Certainly you have been. This team's noticed you, and you've worked your way all the way up the ladder. How is it now when you're kind of one of the vets of this group out here?
Really just trying to shed light on things that I experienced in my years of Summer League, G League, NBA, everything that I've learned just being around. Kind of trying to give guys pointers, things that I had to go through so that they'll be a little bit ahead of the curve.
I know you've been chasing this, and you're still going to be chasing more. What's it like to, you're playing, starting in the play-in games and meaningful games. What did that feel like, and what now are you still chasing?
It definitely felt good. I mean, at first, just to be out there, obviously starting. It's just one of those things you kind of grow up dreaming about, but never really thought it would happen. It's always just like a dream until it actually happened, and I was like, it was kind of crazy. But after a while, kind of settled in, and it was just like, we're playing basketball. It just became basketball to me at that point. So, but definitely was a good thing. But I mean, now it's more so like I just said, it's just basketball at the end of the day, just trying to go out there and execute and help the team win for real.
Are they asking you to do different things? Looks like maybe a little more playmaking out here. Kind of what role are they asking you to do specifically for Summer League?
Definitely more of a vet role here. I obviously will be having the ball a little bit more in playmaking situations than I would in a regular game. So kind of showing a little bit of that as well during the Summer League. And I think just more of what I already do, the defensive side of the ball, and kind of trying to help guys, on that side, because that's kind of where everyone is going to get in. That that's the easiest way to get in instantly. Guys aren't going to come in and be the star player of teams out the gate. So definitely trying to shed the light on the defensive end. Tell guys where to be and just give them little hints.
When you reflect back on your season last year, what are some of your memories that you're taking with you as far as highlights for yourself?
I mean, obviously you take the career high games, and those games are something that you'll always remember. But I don't know, honestly, like I could probably name a couple, but I probably forget just because I probably forget a couple because I'm like always, next game mentality. It's like after I go, say if I score 15, okay, that's cool. But next game, it's a completely new game, and that game could be tomorrow. So you kind of got to put it behind you. So I mean, all of it is honestly like just still crazy to me, and it's kind of wild. Still just enjoying the process, but yeah, definitely. I probably would say the number one would be the game I had in Orlando, just because that's where I'm from. Family was all there and everything, so that's probably the one for sure, though.
How about defensively too? Obviously, you're guarding like the world's best out there all the time. Any moment out there where you go, man, I did my job and then some on this, like any kind of NBA moments that you're just like, man, I really did some terrific defense there.
Honestly, no particular game where I'm just like, well, I mean, obviously I've had great defensive games for sure, but any time where I can pick the pocket of anybody, any player, it doesn't matter. Like that is the most satisfaction I get. Like if anyone tries to hit a crossover and I can completely pluck it, that's like 5 stars for me. Yeah. So, but I mean, obviously I've done that a couple of times. So, yeah, that's really where I feel like is the best thing for me on the defensive end.
I got to imagine the second you do that, especially if it's in the backcourt or near half court, and then it's clear, and you've already done it, and all you have to do is finish with a layup or dunk. Like that moment's got to be really cool for you.
Honestly, I'm more so stuck on the steal. Like the steal is my shine. Like that's where I'm like, I got it. Like this is the finishes, whatever 2 points or whatnot. So, but yeah, it's really the steal for me.
All right, how about looking ahead? Then you got the additions to the team. Looks like talent upgrade. Like, how excited are you for the upcoming season?
Really excited. I mean, I think when you add a guy like DeMar DeRozan, obviously, you know, a lot of eyes will be on us and how we do this season. I think it'll be a great addition to the team. So we should definitely be in a good position next year.
All right, then last thing for you. Now you're battling. Like, you gotta battle to get your minutes, get your name seen, get your self on the floor with all those guards. How do you go about that?
Same way I approached it this year. Just got to go out there, try to make the team better, make myself better, and play hard every game, every day. I think that'll take care of everything, and that's kind of what happened last year. So just a little repeat.
Awesome. It's been fun to watch you grow and keep growing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That's Keon Ellis sitting with, or should I say walking?
We were sitting. We were sitting.
Oh, sitting.
But it was kind of they were moving. The way this goes, the Kings were practicing. I think it was the Blazers. No, it was the Blazers. Yeah, that were coming in next. The practice gym. So it's kind of like, hey, got to go quick. So yeah.
Well, it was good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that he is in Vegas, and I love that he's just continually. There's no like, okay, I'm in the NBA now. I'm in the rotation. I'm going to take it easy. He's like, I need to get better. I need to push, and that's one of those places where that G League 2A experience really, really helps, because I think there's that part of that drive is like, I don't belong at the kids table anymore. Like I belong in this league, and I have something to prove, and I have a chip on my shoulder, and I love that.
Yeah, I think he's in a good spot where he's had some success. I think the confidence is there that he knows he belongs. But his reality, Dave, we kind of talked about this earlier. I mean, Fox, Monk, DeRozan, Herter, himself, Colby Jones. You got to put all the potential people out there. McLaughlin, Devin Carter when he's healthy. There is a lot of competition in the backcourt, and they've got good players. There's plenty of guys that deserve a lot of minutes there. And Keon's one of them, but some guys, there'll be some nights we'll go, man, they didn't play player X that much, or why did they not get to play? There's a lot of choices there.
We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch, along with we got a home run derby coming up, Jason. So we'll have to make our picks as well. Crosstalk and celebrity birthdays as well. Styles and Watkins will come in and visit. It's Dave. It's Jason in Vegas on his getaway day to New Orleans. Christopher Lott back in studio with myself. We'll be right back after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Monday, stepping outside to the comfort of 60s this morning. We'll see mainly sun and clouds for the afternoon with a light southwest wind. Highs today will peak in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Waterman.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The PGA Club Fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Before we get to the Home Run Derby rosters and what to watch, by the way, what to watch, we can get to that right now. Jazz Kings. Tonight, Jason Ross, what are you specifically looking for in tonight's showdown?
Better performance by the team. 31 turnovers. I know it's summer league. You're just going to go, it doesn't matter. Well, it does to these guys. And I will say this, too. Maybe this is being tough on some of these guys. I know the roster's been jumbled around, but I would say a guy that I thought played some last year or did play some last year, and I kind of had belief that he could help this team in some way. I don't think Colby Jones has looked that good. And again, it's not a full testament. Doesn't mean he can't have a good rest of Vegas, but I thought he was okay in the Classic and needs to be better out there. Because, I mean, this is like when it's year two, it's like, okay, now let's see what I got. I've been through this. I should be one of the better players out here, and I didn't see that from him. So I'm looking forward to Colby Jones playing better today.
Over the weekend, and we all know what happened over the weekend that took over all the headlines, and for very understandable reasons. But not to get whatchamacallit here. But Dr. Ruth, Richard Simmons, and Shannon Doherty. We lost all three of them over the weekend, which is absolutely worth a mention. Shannon Doherty, 90210, that was our generation. Charmed. Obviously, we've probably seen more from her on Charmed because of the NBA, the games, and when it's on TNT in the morning. And Richard Simmons was a little before my time, but obviously one of the all-time characters, not just in fitness, but in entertainment. And then Dr. Ruth was before my time, but I can completely acknowledge that she was, instrumental in talking about that type of stuff, publicly and educating and all that. And she was up there. She had a very, very full life, but they say they always come in threes. That's a pretty rough three right there.
Yeah, what was odd about that is we literally just had Dr. Ruth, I think, on Celebrity Birthdays not that long ago, and I think we were both kind of surprised. Wow, she's still with us, which is great. So she passed, and we also just had Richard Simmons on there recently too. So, unfortunate. Richard Simmons. I know there's some stuff that was a little bit weird, like the last couple of years on him, like just what's going on with him. He was kind of hidden from the media.
Yeah, that whole thing. And I know he used to be a regular on, I think it was Howard Stern for a while. I might be thinking of the wrong show, and then just kind of disappeared. And there were all kinds of questions and stuff like that. But what was he, 74, 76, something like that?
Yeah.
Also, on this day, Twitter was launched.
Oh, what year?
Twitter was launched on this day back in
2007.
2007.
Was that right?
Well, I could tell you. I think if 2006.
Oh,
aha! 2006. And as somebody who spends a lot of time on Twitter,
the Kings have only made the playoffs once.
You shut up, Chris.
The Raiders, Dolphins, and Commanders haven't made the playoffs.
Don't fire up the chat. It's already me versus like 8 Raider fans. Which I didn't even know there were 8 out there, but I think they're all over the chat. Hey, sorry. I'm still trying to figure out if Twitter's a good thing. I honestly have that debate quite a bit with myself. I look, what a breakthrough for unfiltered voices where anyone can have a voice and say pretty much anything and just be able to express themselves in their own way and letting people choose what they want to believe and not, and who they want to follow and not. And then on the other hand, what a way for a bunch of unfiltered voices to be able to say whatever they want, whenever they want. And like, obviously, I don't want to get into a free speech conversation, have MC meltdown, but every time I think of something that's wonderful about Twitter, I think of something that is just an absolute cesspool. But you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, dude. I think history will show that Twitter, and I know we had Facebook and Snapchat and a lot of other, but there's something different about Twitter and how it works. And I will not call it X. It'll always be Twitter.
Yeah.
I think 100 years from now, we're going to go back and say Twitter not only did the thing Twitter did, but launched a bunch of other stuff, good or bad.
I would say when you ask that question, is it good or bad? I would say yes. Right?
Is it good or bad? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. There are elements that are great. There really are. And then there are elements that are bad. It's both. It's all over the place. I think that we all choose it. Well, the people that do use it choose it for certain reasons, but you can't avoid whatever else you're not trying to see, or like some of the stuff that if you think that's bad, that it's everything. And, for us in this industry, Dave, there's some incredible, to hear that a trade may have happened 40 seconds ago. That's incredible. That stuff would have happened hey, wait for the paper or, the internet or something. But now it's stuff and decisions. Draft picks are being announced before they're even picked. But then there can be some other, and, funny things, creative things, digitally. There's just some amazing work by some people. And then there's, we could word it the same way, some amazing work that you're like, wow, you're really putting that out there. So it's all over the place.
Yeah. But I still go back. I'm still there every day.
Me too. Me too.
But speaking of Twitter, by the way, you can follow Sacktown Sports on Twitter. You can see all the highlights, clips of interviews, and links to the full interviews. Also, YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up. Do all that fun stuff, if you will. Jason, the Home Run Derby is upon us, and I can't wait. It's just the Home Run Derby is the one thing about All-Star Weekend I'm into. I am. It's fun. It's fun entertainment. It's like I said, bring in the aluminum bats. I don't think they're gonna listen to me, but I still think that would be cool.
Well, they had some rule changes, but that's not one of them. Yeah, I think the one thing that might be the best for this that I read about is the 8 participants will all compete in round 1, but it's not a head-to-head. And I think that was one of the issues, to me, was if you and I battled and you hit 60 homers and I hit 58, I'm out. And you go, wait, because you beat me head-to-head? I hit the second most home runs. That didn't seem fair. So I think the way they've got it this year is the 8 compete, and then they put them into a top 4 seed. I think that'll be good.
Pete Alonso is the favorite and should be, obviously. He's the king of the Home Run Derby. Has 19 home runs on the year, hit one 446 feet back on June 4th. Alex Baum, Gunnar Henderson, who currently has 28 home runs. Alex has 11. Bobby Witt Jr., 16. Marcelo Zuna, 26. Jose Ramirez with 23. Dolis Garcia with 17. Teoscar Hernandez with 19. Do you you want to have fun and take Alonso off the table? I mean, I guess we don't need to.
No.
You can pick Alonso if you want, but that will not be my pick.
Okay, who are you going with?
Give me Bobby Witt Jr. Why?
Really?
I just feel like this is his moment. He's arguably the most exciting player in baseball, young player, certainly. I don't know. I just have a strange feeling about Bobby Witt Jr. in this thing. That also might be last night's pasta rolls, but I have a feeling he's going to do something here.
Okay. I like your call. That's a very good call. I'm going to go with Marcell Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves to become the first Brave to win the home run derby.
Marcell Ozuna.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Chris, your pick.
Let me take Gunner.
Gunner.
I mean, honestly, that's even
you guys have two shortstops.
Yeah, I know. Remember back in the day when
dingers.
Back when the shortstop and the catcher were just there to play defense, and if they hit 200, it was plus.
Where's Johnny LeMaster when you need him?
Yeah, where is the Giants' great Johnny LeMaster? That was always the name you'd use when it came to the San Francisco Giants to help describe the pain. Old Johnny LeMaster. You know who my guy is? Jose Uribe.
Okay.
Did Jose Uribe? Why do I feel like he passed? I think he did. No,
Did
I
he?
know, right? Weirdly enough, yeah, in 2006. That's right. I had a feeling that rang a bell for a reason. But man, Jose Uribe back in the day, yeah, Kevin Mitchell. Well, he switched to the outfield, but whether it is Chris Brown, then Matt Williams, Jose Uribe, Robbie Thompson, Will Clark. That's an infield, Jason.
And where did that infield get you, Dave?
Got us an 87 NL West title and an 89 National League title. We won the pennant.
The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant.
According to the Birth Patrol in our chat, if you are the runner-up in the championship, you're the first loser. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Raider fan line. You're the runner-up in the championship. You're the first loser. It's a failure. Which then begs the question, if losing in the Super Bowl is a failure, then what is not making the playoffs in 22 years? I don't know. We'll discuss that during the break, as it's me versus I don't think it's a Raider Nation anymore. I think it's a Raider County. Wow. I'll continue to go back and forth with them and crosstalk, celebrity birthdays, and more right after this.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing. We see some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Catch some Aggie football this fall and save money while doing it. Grab one of our all-new mini plans and save up to 40% off single-game tickets. With our can't-miss home slate of games this season, you can pick 82 games for just $60 or any 3 games for $75. Pick the games that fit your schedule and come support the Aggies on their quest for a Big Sky championship. Mini plans can be purchased by calling the ticket office at 530-752-2471 or online at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Ags!
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross.
How come you guys, I mean, it's probably a question I don't want to ask, but how come you guys aren't in Vegas? Just a preference? Is it scheduling? Is it host duties? Is it all of the above? Would you even want to go? I know that's an obvious question. Yeah. I would not want to. I do not like that trip.
Oh.
So I beg out of it. The only time I have to go is when we have a sponsor and you have to go.
Right.
I hate that trip.
I love it. I haven't done summer league, and I would have.
Have you not done it before? You should then.
Yeah.
I will say this. I hate that trip, but it's definitely something everyone should do because it really is like NBA Mecca. You know,
I call it NBA Coachella.
That's right.
Yeah.
NBA Palooza.
Sure.
Yeah, I like yours
I think
better.
actually they are calling it that.
Are they?
Yeah, because they're trying to make it into more like a.
You're just like walking down the street and it's like, oh, there. I mean, I say Jerry West, obviously R.I.P., but that happened with
No, I saw
it's
Jerry
like, oh my
West.
God.
Me and Brendan sat right behind Jerry West for
Right.
like an entire the Keegan Murray shot. You know, I was right behind Jerry West.
Yeah, everybody's down. It is
Yeah,
definitely
everybody.
Well, let's do that next year. No, I didn't know you wanted to go and hadn't been.
We were not asked.
No? Well, I'm asking. You guys want to go next year?
It's nothing. It's pretty hot. It's nothing I'd rather.
Alan's made for Vegas.
Thank you, Jim.
There's nothing you'd rather do?
No, there's not anything.
There's not anything you'd rather do than go to Vegas for Summer League?
I really want to go.
I get that. I think we're going a little far with.
It's pretty dang hot.
I feel like I could name 10 things Alan would
during
want.
this time right now as we speak.
Okay. Go to Vegas Summer League or all expenses paid trip to Hawaii.
No. Within the guise of our life. It's
Go to Summer League or go to Wimbledon.
All right. Wait, what did you say?
Or go to Wimbledon.
Yeah, Summer League or Wimbledon?
Summer League.
Okay. Summer League or you and Chris are up in Tahoe all last week and weekend having every member of the golf tournament roll through.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Well, we didn't get to go to that either.
All right. So there's
True. I would love these options. We didn't get to go to that either.
So there's one thing then. There's one thing you'd rather do at least. More than
we could have done both. This is crazy.
This is crazy.
Crazy.
By the way, Jason's been working his little tushy off down there, just so you know.
Yes.
Monty McNair, Keon Ellis, Doug Christie, available for you in there. How was your weekend?
Locked and loaded. Good. That was
Just
flew right
trailing
through
through.
that
We
one.
got a lot to cover, guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Feels like it.
Jason, I think you'll agree. Starting tomorrow, it's an exciting day as Styles and Watkins.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, is it?
No.
Starting tomorrow,
Throwing away a really good opportunity, guys.
Really good opportunity. I want to go to Summer League, but hey, I don't want to be on the air for 8 hours.
Yeah. Man.
That's a quarter of the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you put it like that.
You know, back in my day, I used to do a 7-hour on-air shift.
You know what? I'll give you this much. I'll give you this much. I'd do it if I got guaranteed barbecue from the engineers. Ooh.
For lunch. Why does it have to be from the engineers? Why can't it just be guaranteed barbecue?
Because it's homey.
When you say that, do you mean that it's homie as in they're your homies, or do you mean it's homie as in it's homie like I would eat at home?
There's nothing better than just some homemade barbecue.
Yeah.
Just do a show.
But why wouldn't you?
Pick your teeth.
Do you not? Would you not accept me barbecuing for you?
I
not
knew you
think
were
I
gonna
have?
say that,
You not? What, Jason?
I knew you were going to say that. I think that's a sensitive subject, Alan, with Dave. I mean, the engineers cook, and they cook great. That's great. But I think Dave would like the opportunity to barbecue for everybody.
Well, who's stopping him?
This is
Chris, who's stopping
nobody
him?
is stopping
Nobody.
This is a long time.
You got a hot plate?
You want me to barbecue on the hot plate?
Give me something for 7 hours.
This is a long-standing rivalry between the engineers. Not the engineers. I want to drag the innocent in between Jason, Joft, and myself.
Okay.
This is because they think that in order for it to taste good, you have to go chop your own wood and then put it in the barrel thing of the barbecue you created.
That's right.
And I'm like, yeah, Traeger bitch. And then I just go and start it and I'm good.
Yeah. Look, Dave, it's very similar. We talk about rivalries all the time.
Yeah.
If there's only one side producing, then it's not a rivalry. I've had multiple barbecue lunches from the engineers. I've had nothing from you.
Well, we have to go to celebrity birthdays, but let me just put the meat where my mouth is. Nope, don't want to do that.
Why would
I don't, because sometimes it just happens and I don't control it. Are you saying that for the next 6 days you'll come in and do mornings if I barbecue for you every day?
Yes.
Are you really? Are you?
I'm not volunteering Chris.
I know you're not, because there's no way he's doing it.
I'm watching.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can
show.
not to make eye contact. You're watching a deer show.
What is this? This is the guy Man Eater or Meat. What was it? Meat Eater. The top podcast. The man, the meat, and the legend.
A bunch of deer going at it.
Oh my goodness. By the way, earlier I said 8 hours is a quarter of the day. It's a third. And it was actually a Raider fan that corrected me, so I'll give him the W.
Just leave it be with them.
I know I should. I can't.
With us,
though. It is. It's like doing the show and doing that.
You're
It's
just
fun.
doing it.
I know. No, they're in there. It's like 5-on-1.
Just worry about your non-top 10 QB Brock Purdy.
I'm just going to worry about my.
According to ESPN scouts.
Hey. You got AOC and Gardner Minshew in the tank, and you want to come after Brock Purdy?
No, I'm not. I'm saying worry about them.
Also, have you watched any of that receiver show?
Half hour.
Holy crap, Devontae Adams is vocal.
Yeah.
Palo Alto's finest.
All right, celebrity birthday is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and
I'm hot today. I can already tell.
When you say hot, do you mean good looking? Do you mean temperature, like it's hot outside, or do you mean like you are?
The juices are flowing.
You got
I'm gonna nail these. I'm gonna nail.
I got you. Well, Jason Ross, take it away, please.
All right. Well, let's see how we do here, guys. Let's start with happy birthday to Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard is 34.
He's either 34 or 35. 35 seems too old. 34. I got to ride.
I'll say 36.
35.
So we had two 34s, a 35 and a 36?
Correct.
We have a correct answer. And it's Carmichael, David, Allen Styles, 34.
There you go.
Yes! Niner and Raider fan unite.
Yeah. Let's take a picture.
Yeah, what the thing holding up the
picture.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Advantage Chris Watkins here from his family from USC. Juju Watkins.
Shout out Juju.
Who?
Cousin Juju.
Gotcha.
I mean,
I'll let you go first, Alan.
it's either 19 or 20. 20.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Alan, 20.
I'll say 19.
19.
Two 19s, two 20s. The 19s, Chris and Chris.
Yeah.
Correct answer.
Kind of gave
Shout out
it.
Cousin Juju.
Happy birthday to former hockey coach, hockey announcer, analyst Barry Melrose.
Oh, the mullet.
Yeah.
I think that's the only hockey coach I've ever known.
Yeah. But what about Herb? What's his face? that
Yep,
Kurt Russell played?
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know who Wayne Gretzky is.
No, not a single clue. Never heard of him.
Don't know who Gordon Bombay is.
Actually, no.
I was a big Mike Madonna guy back in my day.
I think Barry Melrose is 71.
69.
74.
64.
Alan's closest, 68 for Barry.
Wow.
Heater. Big Barry Melrose guy.
Happy birthday to Forrest Whitaker.
From
Fast Times at Ridgemont
Fast
High.
Times at Ridgemont
First he's
High.
going to blank, then he's going to kill us.
And Street Kings.
Yep. Then Rogue One.
Rogue One, obviously.
Oh, obviously.
Vantage Point.
Yep.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Cool.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
The Crying Game.
Forrest Whitaker is going to end up being older than I want him to be. I'm going to say
Good call.
67.
I'm going 64.
Ooh, that's what I wanted.
I'll say 61.
65.
Alan's closest, 63.
Okay, I'm glad.
For Forrest Whitaker. Happy birthday to Tobias Harris.
My guy.
Canada pronounced Tobias.
Finesser of the century.
He is Tobias Harris is 33.
I think he is 33.
I think he is.
Because I just saw, because we were looking at him. So 33.
34.
34.
Two 33s, two 34s. No correct answer. 32.
Oh, wow.
And I thought he was 32.
No, we were close.
Dave and
Oh,
Alan
you thought he
were
was 32? Yeah, I got you.
How about Derek Favors?
Wow.
Blast from the hall.
Derek Favors was in the DeMarcus Cousins draft, and that was in 2010.
Good pull.
I'm going to say he is 35. I just did the whole math thing out loud. I know. He's within one. He's 34, 35, or 36.
36.
I'll say 34.
35.
35 is the right answer.
Closest is Chris Walker. 33.
Oh, he must have been young enough.
Don't listen to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Whoa.
Happy birthday to, was she married to Sylvester Stallone? I don't know. Relationship with him and
Bridget
Flavor
Nielsen?
Flav. Brigitte Nielsen, yes.
Yeah, she was. Yvonne Beat.
Flavor of Love.
Flavor Flav.
Bridget Nielsen. Oh, God, she's going to be old too, isn't she? 70.
65.
I'll say 68.
72.
I was surprised by this one. 61.
What? Come on, Sylvester.
Is that right?
That's
Robbing the cradle, Sylvester.
My goodness.
Oh. Sorry, just Googling her.
Yeah.
Can you not? I gotta use that.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Sorry, we were looking at the turnovers from the Summer League game. That had nothing to do with the other thing. Go ahead.
Same.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Well, Jason, a fond farewell, as always, whenever you go to New Orleans, the home of your relations, which is New Orleans culinary royalty, if you will. I would like pictures. Nope, not of that, of the food you're eating, because there is no place better. So we will miss you, and thank you for abandoning me on All-Star Week. Love you. You're the best.
You'll have a great time.
Guys, what's coming up that I can steal for tomorrow, preferably?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to react to Monty McNair and whether or not they've done enough. Team USA basketball is cooking right as we speak.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later in the show, we'll bring back a fan favorite prop talk for the Home Run Derby.
Oh, I love it. We'll steal that segment for tomorrow, too. We're basically going to replay all of you guys tomorrow and for the rest of the week. For Christopher Ladd, for Jason Ross, I am Carmichael Dave. We'll see you tomorrow. Light the beam. Bye-bye now.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a